This week, we look at the town of Waynesville, Ohio, where a life filled with problems culminates in one horrible morning. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello, and welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Oh, yay, indeed, Jimmy. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmy Whisman.
Thank you for joining us today on another crazy adventure that we like to call Small Town Murder. First of all, thank you, everybody, for your iTunes reviews this week.
Truly.
Big stuff, guys. Honestly, those reviews, I know it's weird and it's silly, but they weigh so heavily on the iTunes charts. It's that funky algorithm that we've discussed a million times. It's a weird thing. So if you haven't done it yet, please get on iTunes. Give us 5 stars. It doesn't matter what you say. It really doesn't. You have to write something, but you don't have. It's not for our ego. It's just for business. So
get creative.
Just say anything you want. Tell us a little bit about yourself, a little your life story. Just take a chunk out of your resume and put it in there, just like a work history.
AOL message board. Just ASL. Just give us age, sex, location.
That's it. Perfect. Do that. It's beautiful. Thank you so much if you do that. We appreciate it. And we appreciate even more the long list of producers that we have for the end of the show.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. If you want to help us out and you want to be a producer, you can do that by going to patreon.com/crimeinsports.
Yes.
Or you can make a one-time donation over at PayPal using our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com. Every cent is appreciated more than you guys can imagine. It really is. That's our bread and butter, guys. So thank you for everybody who helps us out in that way. And we're going to tell you how much we love you right up at the end of the show there. Definitely going to do that. We have to do the disclaimer, of course.
Yeah.
The disclaimer is, I hate that we have to always.
But it has to be
We
done.
have to do the disclaimer, guys. We have to.
Otherwise, we're going to hear shit.
People don't get it. They just don't understand what they're listening to. It's a comedy podcast, this
Right.
is. It's comedy. All the cases are real.
They are.
For all the research, everything. We don't make things up for comedy to
There's a
get
lot of
jokes
it,
out of it. But we're going to tell jokes. We're comedians. That's what we do. We tell jokes usually about small towns, usually maybe a bumbling police force that lets somebody go, a court system that's annoying, something like that, murderers, because why not? Make fun of a murder. We try not to make fun of the victims or the victims' families. That's kind of how we can make it not so terrible, and you don't have to feel guilty because we're assholes,
right?
But we're not scumbags.
That's true.
So, yes, we try to do that on every episode. And so if you're on board at this point, great. You're in the car, and we're on the way to the liquor store, guys. We're about to rob the liquor store.
I need money.
You need money. If the small Korean woman behind the counter gets her brains blown out by somebody, one of the crew, you're just as involved now. So no complaining. There you go. You're in. Do that. I have to tell you guys, if I say I might be a little detached for a second or two here, but I just found out my grandmother died. You guys know all about my grandmothers.
Right.
Just found out racist grandmother just died today.
Skin of the Seal, right?
No, that's Skin of the Seal's Italian grandma. It's a tough day for my grandmothers. Skin of the Seal Italian grandma is in surgery right now.
At this second.
At this moment as we're recording. She has something wrong with her heart again, so they had to go in there. And then my other grandmother, I just found out like on the way here to the studio that she just died today. So
I'm so sorry, man.
It's all right. But we'll put the I don't need cold cuts that bad shirt on sale We'll put it at a discount for Nan. I don't know. We'll put it at cost or something.
Discount Nan's phrase.
Discount Nan's phrase. That's how we'll honor her, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what else to do. Fly your Confederate flags at half mast, I guess. I don't know. If you have one, fly it at half mast for racist Nan. She was mean a little bit. She didn't like many people, but she's still my grandmother, and I loved her, and she was nice to me. So
her existence created your existence.
Exactly.
So I'm still happy about her.
So that's all good.
Despite her shitty politics.
Exactly. So that is the dead grandmothers aside. Let's. I think it's time to get down to business.
Yes.
I think it's time. I think you're all saying at this moment, "Shut up and give me murder." So let's do it.
All right.
Let's go on a trip, Jimmy. What do you say? Want to go on a trip?
I do.
It sucks because I don't want to go back on the road. We've been home. I like it for a week.
It's been nice showering in my own place.
Isn't that nice? Isn't that a nice thing?
Washing my balls with my own shower shit.
Not
It's
being
great.
paranoid you're going to run out of underwear. Isn't that a good feeling?
Terrified that did I wear these yet?
Did I pack enough socks?
I don't know that I put these on the side that was the clean side. Was this back over in that other town? I put them over here. Did I put them?
What do I do? I put them in the top part of my suitcase in the zipper.
Do I dare sniff these?
Yeah. Everything's wrinkly, so I can't tell that. It's all in a suitcase.
Right. It all looks like it's been worn. Fuck it.
Well, fuck it. Let's go on a trip.
And I can't go look at pictures and see because you can't see them.
No, I can't see your underwear.
I can see the shirt and go, yeah, I definitely wore that one.
Definitely wore that. I saw it all over Twitter. But let's go on a trip.
Okay.
We're going to last week. Obviously, we were in
Two Guns or Twin Barrels,
Texas, Gun Barrel City, Texas. So this
Gangster
week,
Tattoo, Texas.
That's right. This week we're heading on up a little bit into the Midwest. We're going to Ohio. Mm-hmm. We're going to Waynesville, Ohio, as a matter of fact. Waynesville, Ohio is in southwestern Ohio. Mm-hmm. It's about 3.5 hours to Cleveland.
Right.
It's about 45 minutes outside of Cincinnati.
Yeesh.
So between this and our Kentucky episode last time, which was right outside Cincinnati.
It's like an hour apart.
We're like, it's like the Cincinnati suburbs murder, it should be called here. Very strange here. Or I don't know why. I guess if you live close to Cincinnati, I don't know if it's the water, you will kill somebody. It's about
too much chili.
Too much damn chili. It's about an hour and 15 minutes to Columbus, Ohio. So that's not really. It's close to Cincinnati. Other than that, it's kind of
that's drab too.
Yeah, it's not exactly.
That's not positive.
It's not a positive thing at all.
Right.
It's in Warren County.
Okay.
It's a 2 square mile town. So one of these small little like kind of quaint towns. There's a lot of historical things there, as we'll talk about here. Area code 513 and 937 also. They had to add another one in a 2 square mile place. You can't go, can we make the line here? On the other side of this 2 mile? Must we really?
We bisect a fucking 2 square mile town.
Why are we doing this? Yeah, you'd think there would be some form of that consideration of that when they're making new area codes. Like, well, why don't we just make the line 2 streets over?
We got the same zip code. Why are we changing the area code?
So stupid. The motto of this town, Jesus Christ, the town and the county, they should have hired an ad agency to do this. I always say, don't waste your money. I'll just give you one. But they needed something because this sounds like this was just somebody's idea there. The town motto is, quote, welcome to Waynesville.
That's it. That's what they got.
Welcome to Waynesville. That is their town motto. I'm like, that's not a motto. No. That's just what you put on your website. Right. Welcome to Waynesville at the top of it. Nope.
It's just a sign.
They were like, well, we don't have anything, and we put that on everything. It's on the sign, welcome to Waynesville.
It's every town's fucking motto.
It should be. That's what I mean. They're not very creative.
Not even a reference to Wayne's World? Come on. Get a Mike Myers reference.
County motto here, again, not creative at all. The Incredible County.
Oh, boy.
Well, okay. Why? I think the point of your motto is to tell us why you're incredible.
Just fucking right on the sign, Waynesville, and then right underneath it, Schwing. That's fucking great.
People would like that
Zing,
better.
Done deal.
I prefer, now, if it was me writing it, I'm going to give you guys a little, to me, this is going to draw people in way more than Welcome to Waynesville or the Incredible County. Both the town and the county are welcome to this. Quote, all of the Ohio with none of the Cleveland. So I think that would draw me in quicker
I'm there.
than the Incredible County. I'd be like, oh, Ohio sounds nice, but Cleveland sounds like a dump. I don't want to be there, so do that. History of this whole place here. 1791, Samuel Highway immigrated to America from England.
His last name was Highway.
Yeah, but it's Heighg. Okay. It's one of those.
Hayway, some shit.
Still, I mean, I guess it was Hayway, but I want it to be Highway. I see that, and it's Highway, but it's probably Hayway. You're probably right. He founded Waynesville in 1797. He thought this town would be the capital of the Northwest Territory.
Oh boy, was he wrong!
Because then, back then, it's not even that close to Cincinnati.
Right.
Never mind the capital; it's an hour 15 from Columbus, the capital of this shit state. Never mind the entire.
Oh fuck!
The Northwest Territory, if you don't know anything about history, was basically when was the whole Northwest United States, the whole everything. Basically,
he thought it was going to be Ohio.
Yeah, and he's like, this right here, this place, capital, build it. We're all building this shit.
I'm swinging a miss.
What a fucking ego on this guy, too. I founded this town, so naturally it'll be the capital of everything.
Yeah.
That's wow. You fucking.
And it was Wayne Hayway? Is that it?
It was Samuel.
Samuel. So why do you name it Wayne?
Well, he didn't. We'll get into this in a second here.
All right.
It did grow up to be. It's a weird place. It's actually a tourist spot now, which is weird and has been since then. This Hayway was actually a ritzy English frontiersman. They call him, which is very interesting.
How do you get ritzy frontiersmen?
I think it's those guys, rich English douchebags who like go into the woods with 14 of their servants who have their rifles over their arms, loading them for them. I think we're going this way, and it's like, oh, he's a big ballsy guy. Right. He's got a whole team with him.
I pictured a guy with 4 pieces of beef jerky instead of 2.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
he's
how
got
ritzy
little
he
extra, little extra on the beef jerky.
He's got 2 coon hats.
He's got 4 teeth instead of 2.
Oh, Jesus.
His coon hat has sparkles on it.
Right.
It's very, very nice. He was an engineer in England. That was his deal. He had partners in this whole thing. Reverend John Smith, who was a Methodist minister. Yeah. Dr. Evan Beans, who was a physician. And Sir Francis Bailey, who was a bewigged douchebag.
Yeah, for sure.
He was a scientist here. Okay. They all invested 30,000 acres in this. They invested to buy 30,000 acres of this purchase between these rivers, and they were like, "This is the one, man. Yeah. This is the one."
We've got 2 water sources.
Two big fingers fucking crossed here. Their big scheme was a plantation. They're going to have a plantation. Yeah. Obviously,
some black people.
Basically, they were looking to be dicks to black people. Yeah. They showed up and they're like, "You can really be a dick to a black person in this fucking country."
Is that the allure of what America was back then?
Not.
Because you have an engineer, a scientist, and then there are 2 fucking
doctor.
Yeah. Those guys in England are a big deal. You can make a living and fucking be fine forever.
No.
Or you can come to America and have nothing, but you get to beat the fuck out of black people.
That's the thing. I really hope that wasn't the draw.
It's got to be the draw.
I swear.
Why the fuck else would those guys move here?
That's a really good question.
That's crazy.
I mean, I guess there was a certain thing of freedom, and there was a reverend, maybe religious
starting on your
freedom.
own.
Yeah, maybe a religious freedom had something to do with it. Maybe. Land that was more available, I guess, that wasn't owned by the
crown.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So maybe that's a thing, but I guarantee you they were like, you can also be a dick to black people. I don't know if you knew that.
There's also some fucking fine print down here that says you get to beat a human.
It's kind of, it's not bad if you I guess for you, if you have a business and none of the people who, make the business make money, you have to pay them. That's a really interesting business model. Right? That's some kind of business model you got there. How'd you not think that? You were surprised that didn't last, really? Surprised. Like, this is tenable. Yeah, no one will complain about this. This is going. What the fuck were people thinking?
Sustainable.
What the fuck were you thinking? Jesus, Nan, what were you thinking? She's almost old enough.
It's real, though. I can't imagine. I mean, I get the allure of the freedom, the religious freedoms. That's fucking. Yeah. That's set in stone. Because back then, everybody was fucking religious too. For one reason or another.
They were all had some sort of superstition.
I just don't understand being a doctor and having a practice and you got a life kind of set up.
Oh yeah. You'd have money and all that. I was gonna say, doctor knowledge wise was really just not that much back then.
Right. It's just putting some fucking bugs on somebody and sucking their blood out.
Put their ear up to your chest and say, "It sounds like you have demons in your heart." I think that's the problem. Okay.
We need a priest to perform an exorcism.
I need a priest, 40 leeches.
Right. And that's your medicine.
And an alchemy set.
Right.
Stat. What?
If my doctor said that to me today, I'd just go shoot myself.
That's what I mean. Like, never mind. Yeah. I'm going to go.
I'll take my chances.
Just go read the internet. I'm fine.
I'll WebMD this shit, drink an Alka-Seltzer, and run around the block. I'll be fine.
It's going to be okay. They came in at first. They had primitive log shelters, but while they were having really nice log cabins facing the river built, they're not going to fuck around with that for long. I mean, they're not. Come on. The initial layout was a rectangle plan. He designed it like an English village. That was his thing, with parks and squares and a central public square with parks and shit all around it. He designed it. They didn't know any better. That's where he came from.
English had some good ideas.
They had plans for serpentine, like walking areas that go through it, groves of trees, and fish ponds. ponds, which sounds very nice. And then they were like, yeah, this is Ohio. There's going to be full of piss in no time.
It's going to be cold as fuck,
It's going to be freezing. Your fucking fish ponds are going to be full of human excrement. This is not going to be great. I don't think you want to reconsider this. It was named after Anthony Wayne, who died in 1796, which was the year before this town officially became a town. He was an U.S. Army officer. He had a military career in the American Revolutionary War. So he became a brigadier general and was known as Mad Anthony, which I think is what you want in a general, I believe, especially back then, because you had to just throw fucking guys in the wood chipper back then. You had to be a little bit mad. We're going to run up a Revolutionary War. We're going to get up, I don't know, 40, 50 feet.
Right.
Line up. No, don't hide.
No.
Don't get behind
Stand
shit.
still, fuckers.
Stand right there. And no, they're going to shoot back right at you. No, it's going to be bad.
Cannons,
We're all going to fucking die, probably, most of us. I got to be honest with you. It's pure luck who's going to live and who's going to die. It has nothing to do with skill. You're just lining up. So
they're shooting 150-pound balls at you.
I'm sorry. We're nothing. And if you get shot, there's nothing we can do for you. So you're going to die in a field of excruciating pain.
We'll need an alchemy set.
You're going to need an alchemy set, some leeches.
And a priest or two.
And a priest. Yeah. Could get two, because there's a lot of guys. So bring two. Jesus Christ.
I don't know anything about military rank, obviously. Brigadier General sounds like the most terrifying motherfucker on earth. Is that not
It does. It sounds tough.
It sounds like a scary dude.
Yeah.
Like he's seen some shit.
Oh, yeah. Brigadier General, whose nickname is Mad Anthony. Yeah.
That's a frontline guy, right?
He's
I think
fucking,
so.
Ooh, boy, he's scary. The reason why this is kind of an interesting thing here, if you want to go digging, everybody want to grab their shovels. The General Mad Anthony Wayne, his troops camped on Camp Creek at one point, and there's the big legend is that there were some Indians they were fighting at the time, and the paymaster of the whole little troop brigade, I guess. The guy
Brigadiers.
The brigadier.
I don't know.
I don't fucking know. The guy who I got brigadier. So he's a general of a brigade. Okay, we figured something out. So.
Just by tracing English words and shit.
That's it. So his. It's funny how that works sometimes.
It's so weird.
Jesus. So his HR guy, his accountant, whoever doled out the checks, there was an attack by the Indians, so he hid all the money, so they couldn't get it, and the money's never been found, is the legend. So there's might be somewhere in the woods around here by this Camp Creek, there might be
somewhere upwards of $300.
There might be, like I was going to say, I don't know what you could pay a whole brigade with probably $50 back then, and it's all in coins too. Is the other thing.
A couple cans of beans,
but there'd be some cool looking coins, probably some gold shit, and they'd be worth a fortune, I bet. So go ahead and dig them up.
Upwards of $300.
Definitely. The originally built up, the town was built by Quakers mostly, which that area, Pennsylvania through Ohio, there's a lot of Quakers and Amish and that sort of thing. I just picture Wilford Brimley whenever they say that, even though he's not a Quaker. He just did commercials for Quaker Oats for years.
I just see the guy Quaker from the box.
That's it. That's all you can do. Post office there has been in operation since 1804, so that's not bad. Waynesville actually historically was a big stop on the Underground Railroad.
Is that right?
It was a big deal. It's I guess the where it is next to Cincinnati, and the routes would kind of come through Kentucky and go through Cincinnati. So this was a stop. This is to go to Detroit or Windsor, Ontario. Okay. People would go up there.
And that was Harriet Tubman, correct?
That was the Underground Railroad and lots of other people. And the Quakers were actually big on helping the slaves escape.
Is that right?
One thing about the Quakers is they don't like fucking conflict.
Yeah.
Like the Quakers have had like exemptions for going to war for religious purposes. If you're a Quaker, you don't have to.
They don't like maltreatment of other humans.
It's like Amish. Like you're a conscientious objector. You can be if you're a Quaker. Richard Nixon was a Quaker, which is odd because he had very un-Quaker behavior.
Really?
But, yeah, it's strange. But the Quakers, that they're big on that. So there's a ton of tunnels in this area connecting the safe houses. They led to the Little Miami River, and they'd pop out at the river and then cross the river to lose the dogs. So the dogs would lose the scent. So they had this all planned out to go through everything and then across the river.
Smooth.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting here. Some of the safe houses still stand today, actually, from that era.
That's awesome.
They're historical things. So you can go there. The really weird thing happened in 1879. On August 26th, 1879, a young man named William Everett Anderson, who was 18, he apparently just went fucking nuts one day and killed him and his friend, killed his mother, his aunt, his cousin, all of them.
Sweet
just
Jesus.
Out of nowhere. This is like something that happens today, and you're like, oh, today with all this. But people did that then, too. People just snapped sometimes, lost their fucking mind, and went and slaughtered his whole family on their home on South Main Street. So that was like a big deal in this town, and they still that's like a legendary murder in this town because it was super odd. Because it was like not any warning signs. It was just a kid snapped. It was like a school shooting.
Did he do? Is that what he did? Was shot him, or did he fucking gut him?
No. He killed him with a knife, and it was
Jesus.
It was his mother and his 18 or his aunt and his 11-year-old cousin.
Sweet Pete.
He did this too, which is fucking horrible, man.
Unbelievable.
Horrible. In 1900, always between 1900 and 1910, every fucking town we have done has burned to the ground. All of them. Yeah, they're all burned to the ground. From 1900.
America was so fucking flammable.
And you don't hear about a fire in 1862, even though there was a war going on then, so maybe shit was on fire. But you hear about 1900 to 1910. Maybe that's why Prohibition came on, because everyone was like, we're all just drunk setting everything on fire. Okay? We need to stop fucking drinking because...
You know how many towns we've rebuilt in the last 5 years?
The town's on fire every year and a half, and it's always a drunk guy doing something stupid, like the one we did.
Finding the gas leak.
Yeah, let me find this gas leak. Hold on, I got to light a match and look for it. Whole town burns down. Shocker. Jesus fucking Christ, man. So it was a fire on Main Street at the E.L. Prince grocery store, and it spread through the government offices, the Miami Gazette, which was the paper there. The other two buildings on the block survived. Only two buildings on the block survived. Everything else burnt to the ground. Today, Waynesville proudly is known as the antiques capital of the Midwest.
Oh, God.
Wow, that sounds boring as fuck.
The old shit capital of the what?
Wow, capital of the Midwest. So we couldn't be capital of the Northwest Territory, so we're the antiques capital of a region instead. We're very specific capital of a very specific area.
And when I think of the Midwest, I picture they probably got a shitload of antique stores.
I would think so. They say that it has still has a lot of the original charm, this town, of that the founders did, basically. They have a lot of the roads are still the same roads same road names from back then.
Same names
of the roads. That sort of. Hopefully they paved them and made it a little better since then. Let's just hope here. Population wise, in like 1900 they had 723 people. 1950 they had 1,016 people.
Okay.
So slowly growing. People as of now is 2,000, and this was the last census. 2,999 people.
Almost 3,000.
Almost 3,000, which is up 53%. Since 1990.
How about
so
that?
So it's odd, I guess, probably people fleeing Cincinnati, I would imagine. It's because that was the same thing in that Kentucky town. It was up a lot. I think anybody let's get the fuck out of Cincinnati. The Bengals are terrible. We need to leave now. We need to leave. And especially since 1990. Once Boomer Esiason left, they're like, listen, guys, Icky retired, Boomer's gone. We need to fucking... Let's take a hike here.
The fumble and the drive still define us. We need to get the fuck out of here.
That's Cleveland.
It's the Browns.
They're on the other side.
Same shit.
So we need to. Let's fucking everybody
we need
to the middle.
Fuck out of this place.
To the middle. And unfortunately, Ohio has no panhandle, so this couldn't be in a panhandle.
Well,
it's kind
I'm
of
sure some counties got them.
Yeah, it's just a square mainly. Median age of this town is 40 years old. So normal is about 37 and a half. So whatever. Female population, and this for a town of 3,000. When you see towns that are like 300, then the stats are all out of whack because it's so small of a population. But when you get to 2,000, 3,000, you start to get things that are normalize. Yeah. It normalizes, but this is the most out of whack I've seen for a town with this many people. Female population is 58.46%.
My Christ.
Which is
damn near 60.
It's normally just under 51% is the average for female. This is completely insane, and 41% male. So if you're a guy, I mean, you can just go in there and just swing your dick around and just be like, how you doing, ladies?
You don't have to swing it. You just go, look, there's one.
Look, I got one. I don't know. And maybe it's like that town in Massachusetts. Maybe it's a huge lesbian town.
Maybe that's
which would
possible.
be good. And we should play there because
lesbians love us. They
That's
do.
right, they do. So not in that way, but they enjoy our comedy. Not sexually at all. They're repulsed by us.
We're exactly the opposite.
Exactly not what they're looking for. But what they think we're funny for some reason. So
somehow,
damn it. Married population is just above the average here. Also, it's about 53%. More now married people than before. More widowed people, which says for the older population. So they're going to be more female. So that counts for a little bit of it, but not that much.
That's a lot.
It is. Divorced almost 14%, which is higher than normal. So there's more single people with no children here than normal too, which is strange. I don't know
Party town.
if that's old people. The party is going to be very monochromatic here because race of this town 94.16% white.
Okay,
it's very very white. This town 0.0% black. 0.0% Asian.
Wow,
this fucking town is white, super white. About almost 4.5% Hispanic. That's it. That's it. That's all there is. There's like 8 Mexicans and a bunch of white people. That's all there is, man. This is like fucking, again, this is the Duger family.
That's super interesting.
I don't know what happened here in the suburbs of you see who fled Cincinnati, I guess. It was white people.
But Ohio has a large population collectively of black, right?
Fuck yeah.
It's
huge.
very high.
Cincinnati, Cleveland,
yeah.
Lots of
But not this
Columbus
fucking town.
Not this town
They are
at all.
bucking the trends for sure.
No, this is we came here to get away from the blacks. See, that's
Dave
how it
Chappelle
works.
lives in Ohio, right?
Youngstown, I think.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That's fascinating.
It's weird, right? Yeah. Well,
very interesting.
Here, what are you going to do? Religion in this town is about almost 30% religious, which is under the 50%. Yeah. So it started by Quakers and has gone down in terms of religion since then. Almost 10% Catholic. 0.03% Jewish. Which is
that's a Jewish guy's leg.
That's a couple. One couple. They're just passing through. They're not even staying.
We're just visiting.
That is not a lot of Jewish people. 0.0% Muslim, obviously. No Mormons in this town. Not a one.
Not one.
Not one. Wow. They're like, we didn't even know it existed. Right. Now they're going to be flooding there now. Watch. Here comes the next missions coming to Waynesville. Watch out, guys. 29% Democrat, 69% Republican in this town. Okay. So it is white and conservative, this town here. Unemployment rate here is about the national average. It's about normal. Household income here slightly above average. It's about 53.5 is the national average. Here it is almost $58,000. That's great. So, a little more affluent. Whiter, more affluent, a little more conservative, but less religious. So interesting. The jobs here, they have more manufacturing jobs than normal, which I guess is good for a Midwestern town. They're always saying how the manufacturing jobs have gone away.
Leaving the country. Yeah,
less professional scientific jobs, that sort of thing. A lot more, almost double the amount of healthcare, social services. So there's your old people once again. Old people are showing themselves in this episode. Cost of living, overall being 100, being regular, average, par. Yep. Overall here, 100. Oh. Exact average cost of living here.
Interesting.
The exact, completely on the money. And things are flux. Some things are 90, some are 95.
Is that our first one, though?
I think it's our first one that's on the money. Yeah, it's our 69th episode here. Housing in this town is the only thing that's over 100, and that is 113, which, there's...
It's Ohio, too.
There's too many white people. There's going to be a housing issue. They're gonna outbid each other. Right. We need to outbid him. Right. Median home cost here is $209,700. It's about $185, the national average here. Most of the houses, a lot of them are between $100,000 and $200,000, and we're talking, 70% of the houses are between $100,000 and $200,000. So
they're pretty old too, though, right?
Some of them are, they're not super high, or much more older than the average is, but there's a lot of older houses, and then there's a lot of brand new houses because the population has swelled so much. So
it's always burning down,
and it burns down every once in a while, And if we've convinced you, the only place to go is Waynesville, Ohio. While it's not on fire, we have for you the Waynesville, Ohio Real Estate Report. Let's get to it. Your average two-bedroom apartment here is about $787, about $400 less than the national average, $300 less. I did find a three-bedroom, one-bath, 1,100-square-foot house here for $110,000.
Wow.
It's not a bad little house, but it needs some work. It needs some fixing up. It needs some updating on the inside.
Needs another bathroom.
No backsplash on the kitchen, that sort of thing. No stainless steel appliances. I did find a four-bedroom, four-bath, 2,800-square-foot house. Very nice house. house here, $239,000.
That's a pretty decent deal.
Isn't bad for this particular market. It's pretty good. It's in a nice part of town, too. I looked it up. I did also find a 4-bedroom, 4-bath, 4,444 square foot house.
Whoa.
This is like one of your ritzy houses.
Yeah.
This is in the nice part of town. This is the other side of the tracks.
Yeah. This is the one Dave Chappelle would own if he lived in this town.
Yeah, he would have to. This house is $569,900.
That's a deal.
So if you want to spend $570,000 to live in central Ohio, knock yourself out. To that. Things to do here. The biggest thing they keep touting is the Ghostly History and Tales of Waynesville walking tour.
That's what Ohio's known for.
Lots of that. Yeah. It says on here, visit Ohio's most haunted town and take the Main Street Ghost Tour. Hear tales of the past and current ghostly happenings in Waynesville. Just meet at the gazebo on Main Street across from the Hamel House Inn at 8 p.m. for all the fun.
Bunch of idiots.
No reservations necessary here. It's $10 per person. It's once a month, May through October in downtown Waynesville.
And if you've got $10 a person to spend on that shit, just send it to me.
Yeah, just send it to us and we'll tell you some horse shit about shit that didn't actually happen. Fine.
So dumb.
Other thing to do here, you can look at the covered bridge.
Yeah.
They're really big on that. Go look at the bridge. There it is. Look at that. Yeah, there's a cover on it.
It's
wow.
like the one from Beetlejuice?
It's like the one from Funny Farm. Yeah, really. The same one.
Probably the same goddamn bridge.
I'm sure it is. It's all filmed in the same
red
place.
wood.
Yep, same thing. Also, the Ohio Sauerkraut Festival.
All right.
A whole festival based around sauerkraut.
Yeah.
Draws nearly 400,000 visitors, this fucking festival, which seems insane. They serve over 7 tons of sauerkraut.
Disgusting.
Every year, which that's
7 tons.
Ohio runs on methane for that time. How much farting and awful.
Oh, my God, that's so gross.
That state stinks in the whole month of October, so avoid that then.
Who the fuck? I can't believe they served.
Jesus
yuck.
Christ. Goddamn disgusting. Crime rate in this town, what we're interested
German food
in.
should never be in a restaurant or served to a mass population in exchange for money. It should be free food to the homeless. It is such horrible shit.
I agree. I'm partial.
German food is disgusting.
It is. My wife loves German food. She's German and she loves making this shit.
It's so gross.
It's not the most appealing of visually too.
The scent.
Yeah.
Everything about it is just gross.
It looks like eat this and you won't die.
Right.
Thanks. That's not a lot of joy in this meal.
You're awfully confident too, by the way,
food,
saying that kind of shit.
Eastern European food, there's no joy in it whatsoever. It's like eat this and the winter won't kill you. All right,
it's
thanks.
Like angrily prepared.
Yeah, it's not great. So property crime in this town.
It can be made decently. I'll say that.
Yeah,
but
Sarah's made some good stuff.
I'm sure she has. But generally, overall,
it's not a restaurant. No, it's not. Property crime is about 10% higher than the average.
Okay.
Murder or violent crime in this town, murder, rape, robbery, assault, the Mount Rushmore, it's about 20% higher in this town. So that's why there's so many fucking ghosts, I guess. Let's talk about a guy who ended up in this town and who had an interesting life. And let's talk all about Rocky Lee Barton.
Okay.
His real name is Rocky. They named their child Rocky.
It's terrible.
In 1956, so they name him after a movie.
Yeah.
They said Rocky.
Yeah.
All right then. And his face, he looks like he's made of rocks. That's what he kind of looks like. So that's not it's a little lumpy.
That's the name of my dog when I was 4.
Yeah, that's what you name a dog or some sort of cartoon animal.
Or a nickname for a dumb kid.
Or a nickname for some dumb guinea. Something like that. Hey, Rock, what do you need? Yeah.
Somebody with a speech impediment.
Yeah, something like that. But he's born in January 28th, 1956. Okay. They name him Rocky. He grows up in Ohio. He grows up in Springboro, Ohio. He says that he's the oldest of the children. His mom and dad got divorced when he was about 15 years old. And he's the oldest of 4 kids. He said once they got divorced, his mom pretty much had her hands full with 3 other kids because they were all younger. So if you're a teenager at that time, that's when you start cutting up and acting out. Right. And he was 15 in 1971, which was I guess a really good time to cut up and act out. That sort of thing. So he said that he was rebellious, especially from then. He was always in a lot of trouble. He did a lot of wrong things. He said running around, missing curfew. He said he gave his mom a hard time. The whole thing. He actually said, and this is an actual quote, I stayed in a lot of trouble and done a lot of wrong.
Oh, boy.
So, he talks like this. This is one of those things where you think Ohio, and you think, oh, it's in the middle of the country and that. But where it is, near Cincinnati, near Kentucky, you get some serious redneckery around this area. You do. There is hillbilly as far as the eye can see here, which turns into nickery and fuckery, and then we know what happens there.
Hilljackery off, and it's fucking,
it's like there's like these kind of hillbilly towns. Not that Waynesville's one of these, because it's more of a historic kind of antique-y place, but you'll have these hillbilly towns that people from the city were like, well, it's cheap, and then they all moved there,
right.
And then you get a town that's half populated by people who used to live in Cincinnati and half populated by angry people who hate Cincinnati. Right. So that's what you're dealing with there.
Ohio's a very strange state.
It's a weird one.
You could,
it's so different from corner to corner.
Right.
It's vastly different. It really is.
And I knew a girl when I was in school that was from Ohio, and she was like the most classy person I'd ever met. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that must be what it's like in Ohio.
It's so
different
in different parts of that state.
It's not.
That state, it's amazing how different it is from the northeast corner to the southwest corner.
So many haves and have-nots.
It's exactly, that's kind of what it is, too, a lot of that. But you also, like I said, it's half backwoods, it's half urban, it's a really weird, it's half West Virginia and half like Michigan. It's a weird state.
Bizarre.
I don't understand it at all. He had his sisters. He said that his sister, the sister that was young, the next youngest was 2 years younger, and then he had one that was 4 or 5 years younger, and then he has a brother that's 15 years younger than him. And that's about it there.
So he was cutting up in 71 at 15.
At 15,
he just missed by 4 years of being drafted and correcting all this shit.
That's what he would have
either dying in Vietnam or
he can
surviving.
Cut up, but he'd be cutting up in the jungle at that point. So
cutting up some Charlie.
Cut up, knock yourself out, buddy. Enjoy. But no, he turned 18 in 1974, which was when the war ended. So he got lucky on that one. He really did. He's born the same year as my dad, who again got lucky on that.
No doubt.
He said they were all sweating that too.
I'm sure.
That was a thought in everybody's mind. Yeah.
Does this shit go to 76? Because if it does, we're in trouble.
How long is this going to go here? Checking your watch? I don't know. This is getting fucking down to the...
This is dicey. This is scary.
Not great here.
Am I going to work next year, or am I going to fucking work next year?
Yeah, which one am I doing here? He says his happiest memory from childhood when asked, he said, quote, probably the summertime, sitting around with the family get-togethers, making homemade ice cream with the old crank turnstile and making homemade peach cobbler, and just Sundays at my grandmother's house. We used to always go to my grandmother's house every Sunday after church. It was when you got together with all the aunts and uncles. There wasn't too many cousins then because I was much older than most of them. There was a few cousins, but probably 3 at the time. And he says church was a big deal with his mother, and she made it a huge deal in the house.
Awful.
She said she always took him to church as a child. They went to a Pentecostal church.
Oh, no.
And he said, quote, believed in the Pentecostal ways.
You betcha.
Which is hard fucking core. If you're any Pentecostals listening, first of all, you're not a real Pentecostal if you're listening to this, number one. So take your fucking, unclench your ass cheeks. Yeah, because if you're listening to this, you're breaking the fucking rules to begin with. So we're all guilty. Like I said, we're all in the car.
Yeah.
Exactly. You go to your pastor or whoever the fuck he is and say, I listen to this show called Small Town Murder. He'll back you up right there. You won't even be able to get it out and fucking explain it. Jesus Christ.
That one and Baptist they're so close.
Southern Baptist.
So close.
Yeah, they're hardcore, and there's a lot of little weird offshoots too that are even crazier, I'm sure, that have
just the Christian religion has so many fucking tailor-made to whatever lifestyle you live. It kind of, I mean, if you just knew how many different there were.
30 people who have that belief. They'll pop it up. They're like, we could squeeze enough for rent out of these fucking people every month.
Change a word in the fucking religion, and all of a sudden,
this. Oh, well, we're different than those people who believe the exact same thing.
Your book's the same as mine, and it just says the same different thing.
I highlighted this passage. You highlighted that. So we're going to call ourselves different and split the money up separately.
Right.
You get who you can get, and I'll get who I can get. That's how you can tell that it's a business.
Right.
That's what businesses do. They find one little difference they can be and go find a niche there and make money.
You mean like how Pepsi and Coke taste a little bit different?
It's the same fucking thing. That's how you can tell. If church was all real and they were actually concerned about anything, they'd all be in it together. We'll pool up the money. It's all Jesus or Allah or whatever the fuck you're believing in. It's all that. So let's pool it all up. And no, they don't do that.
Fair share. Nope.
Nope, not at all. So
And now back to the show.
He says as a child he doesn't remember having any real ambitions.
Yeah.
So that's a bad sign
That's
right
terrifying.
away. That's not great right there. They said, well, what were you good at? And he said, I was a pretty good carpenter. I like building things and doing things with my hands he liked to do. So that's fine. Some people are good at doing things with their hands. One thing he did with his hands around 13 years old was drugs. Started getting into drugs and alcohol around 13.
He's got no direction.
No, it's 1969. Right. I mean, I don't know if that makes a difference, but around 13 years old, he said his mother had her hands full, so he could slip off. He could do whatever he wanted. He said he found comfort in doing drugs, which that's why people do drugs. Yeah, I didn't like it very much,
but I kept doing it.
Because you got to put your time in. That's the thing. If you really want results, I was told it's an acquired taste. That's the thing. It's like, if you do 10 sit-ups, it's not going to do shit for you. You got to do a lot of them, and then you start to see results.
Who likes doing sit-ups? Nobody enjoys.
Who likes doing drugs? Nobody.
You really got to push through the pain.
You got to do it. Oh my God. He said, quote, the people that did the drugs was like a family. That's what he said. I found comfort in doing drugs, and the people that did the drugs was like a family. They accepted me for who I was, which was into the drug scene. Yeah.
That's the guy they want.
That's so funny. When you hang out with people and do drugs, the only real requirement is that you like to do drugs. Right. That's really the only...
Did they include the police in your circle, sir?
They accepted me for who I was, which is another guy doing drugs right next to him. Like, yeah, that's how it is.
You expect a detective to be sitting next to you? What the fuck are you talking about?
I have seen some very, very different people hanging out together. Yeah. And it's because of drugs. Right. That's the only reason they're together. Like, literally, you're like, that's a weird, odd pairing. You're like, oh, you're doing coke together. Yes.
Now it makes sense.
Now you pitched in on an 8-ball. Right. Now I get it. And you're both waiting for, I see how this is going to work. And then you're going to be friends for the night. Right. That's how this works. So, drugs make for odd friends.
And if this is the first time you've been doing drugs together, in the event that you can't find anybody, either of you, to do drugs with later, you'll for sure call each other.
You got another guy to do drugs with. Everybody's fucking fine. Jesus Christ.
Holy fuck, what a dumb statement.
They accepted me for who I was, which was a drug, which was also another person who likes drugs. Which was into the drug scene. Right. That's who I was, damn it. So this leads to, obviously, not the best adult life. If you do a lot of drugs at 13, most of the time you don't. It might not turn out well for you.
Scrambles your eggs a little bit.
A little bit. Yeah. And especially if your home life isn't that great or structured and, that sort of thing. You're the oldest and you can slip away. Right. Your mom's busy. 1975, he's 20 years old. May 12th, 75, he's arrested for burglary and assault. Both in Polk County, Oregon. I can't find any other details on the arrest here, except because it's from Oregon in 1975, except that it was burglary and assault on here. Now, he says about this, the crime that started here in 75, obviously he's young. He's only 20 years old. He says he can't blame anything on his parents. No. Actually, he says, quote, I can't blame nothing on my parents. That's what they said, what he did say, because they tried their best to do what they could with me. He said, I was a handful. I was real rebellious. I don't think anyone could have done anything except for myself. I made my own choices. I made my own mistakes, he says. So that's decent, but that's later on. We'll find out what the end of what road that comes.
But I mean, even with we don't really need much description in the case, other than burglary and assault, and he's arrested. He's probably burglarizing something. Together. He gets caught, takes a swing at somebody, and that person overpowers him.
Either that, or he beat somebody up and robbed them. That's another thing he could have done. And got caught. Yeah, he punched a guy, punched an old man, took his wallet, ran away, got caught.
And went to jail.
We'll put an old man. Whenever it's just a random robbery, I want it to be an old man. I picture a guy with a cane. He's walking down. Give me your wallet, old man. He looks up, and then he just punches him for some reason.
But he got caught.
That's what I feel like every one of those is. And then he goes and gets caught. He runs away, and the man's cane falls down. And he goes, and then there's a cop who runs up. And, hey,
you could have hurt him real bad.
Yeah, a cop with a billy club shaking it in the air. Hey, come back here now, looking like a Bobby from England. Come on now. Comes back and he arrests him.
Fucking blackjack in his hand.
Why do I see that? I don't know. Some 30s crime that took place.
Took place in 75.
Took place in the Reefer Madness movie. Right. That's what it seems like. This is 1975. So 10 years goes by with he continues his life of kind of just being a fuck up. Mm-hmm. He does, he's doing blue collar work. He's doing some drugs. He's doing alcohol. He's just kind of a drunk kind of. Just
having a good time.
He's just, he's a rudderless just guy who's trying to make a living. Yeah. There's however many million of us all in this country.
Trying to find his way.
Fall under this category. Right. So he's trying to work it out, except for on November 14th, 1985, he's charged with felonious assault.
Oh, boy.
It's getting worse.
Yeah.
He didn't rob anybody, at least, but felonious assault, and this is back in Ohio, in Lebanon, Ohio. He's from Ohio. Spends time in Oregon. He spends time in Kentucky. Okay. He moves around, but he always ends up back in Idaho. Ohio. Jesus Christ. Why do I want to call it Idaho so bad? I know it's not Idaho. I'm looking at the word.
The thing, like, when he was 13, he was fucking aimless. He had no idea what he wanted to do, and it just carries over. And then he just continues doing drugs, trying to find his way. Which drugs is fine.
He's basically everybody knew in high school.
Right. Drugs is fine as long as you get some traction and something and stick to it and go with it. Yeah, that's fine.
If that's the thing.
If you're not hurting anybody, I don't give a fuck.
If you're not hurting anybody, if you're doing your thing, that's I like marijuana. And it doesn't affect this at all.
You've
it makes this so much better.
Right.
No, and it makes this so much better. It
does.
It's not like, I don't want to do my work now. Right. That's what makes me want to do this work. Otherwise, I'm like, that's a lot to write down. I don't know. Fuck, whatever. And then I'm like, smoke a little. I'm like, that's pretty interesting. Let me get into this. And it's like, it energizes me.
Toss a gummy in your mouth and you're like, this is a good day.
That's what I mean. I'm like, all right, we can work this out. Let's find out who killed who, goddammit. Let's find out.
In the event that smoking causes a problem, grab that pen. Yeah. And just fucking figure it out and do your thing.
That's it.
And as long as everything's fine and nobody gets hurt, I don't give a shit what you do.
Yeah, if it makes you lazy and you lose your job and your kids are fucking starving, that's a bad thing.
Now you got a problem.
That's when it becomes a problem.
Right. It's not a motivator.
No, but if it's good for you, great.
Whatever.
So this case eventually was dismissed. Mm-hmm. We don't have a lot. I do have the case number, and I looked it up, and it's not active online. I couldn't find the actual. But if you're in Ohio and you want to go to Lebanon, look up case number 85CRA47809. You can figure out what happened in this case in 1985. I don't know if they probably have a physical file somewhere. I don't know. Rocky Lee Barton. So October 15th, 1986, so this is about a year later, he's arrested in Fairborn, Ohio.
Now it's getting fast and furious.
It's getting fast and furious, and the charges will get worse. Not here. This is driving under the influence.
Not good.
Which is to be expected from, he's a 30-year-old dude.
And in 85, they didn't take it as serious as they do today.
No, in 85, you were a pussy if you didn't drive home drunk. Like, what are you, it was like considered like an insult of your manhood. Right. If someone said like, hey, you need a ride?
Drive?
Be like, what are you, calling me a fucking pussy? Saying I can't hold my liquor?
Right.
That's the same thing in 1985.
Some Sammy Hagar, some I can't drive 55 and floors it down the road.
That would be the equivalent of that. And if a cop pulled you over, you'd be like, I had a few drinks. I'm fine, though. What's wrong with you? The cop would be like, you seem okay, and he'd let you go half the time. It's so you really had to be fucked up to get, or a complete dick to get arrested. Or hit something. That's the other thing here. He's found guilty here eventually is the resolution of this case. June 10th, 1988, now this is less than 2 years forward, he is arrested this is so weird. He's arrested by, like, near Atlantic City by the New Jersey Racetrack Unit, okay? Apparently there's
a fucking police department?
Police department, that keeps track of the racetrack. And the racetrack's a shady place in general, I guess.
It's a little scary.
They have their own unit, I guess, for this. And especially back then in 88, too. It was a little more mobby at the racetracks than it is now.
Is it like a dog track racetrack?
It's just the New Jersey Racetrack Unit arrested him. I don't know exactly where he was arrested. I assume at a racetrack. Yeah. I can't imagine the racetrack unit would have any other authority outside of the racetrack. I would assume they'd be like the NCIS people who we've discussed before. Freeze, NCIS. I'm not in the Navy. Who are you again? The what? The fuck is NCIS? What does that stand for? What are you talking about? I have to go now. So you're like, no, you have to. Shit, he's leaving. Everybody does this. Nobody listens to us. Why do we fucking bother?
Right.
Why do we yell freeze? And why don't we just yell freeze and the gun, and then they'll stay?
And they'll just stop.
Once we yell NCIS, it takes away all the threat of the gun even, because they're like, who the fuck are you? Doesn't work. So, yeah. So
CIS, isn't it CSI? What are we
doing?
I don't know what's going on.
I'm very confused.
Where's Grissom?
Huh? What? If they thought we were just somebody holding them at gunpoint, they'd be more likely to stay. They'll be afraid that once they find out we're actually some sort of governmental agency, just one that has no authority over them, they're going to walk away.
Gun badge, no fucking phrasing, nothing, just gun badge freeze.
Shiny thing and a gun. Fucking stop. Once we get them in cuffs, we'll tell them who we are. And explain
and then
who
go,
we are.
You could have run, dummy.
We have no authority over you. Did I mention that? So, New Jersey, that's a show that I'm surprised they've missed on reality
some sort
television.
Of fucking...
New Jersey racetrack unit. See guys running through the stables.
Bullshit reality show.
Running through the stables, cuffing some 4'2" jockey. Hey, listen, guys, I didn't do nothing.
Or somebody letting out all the fucking greyhounds going, you're free, run.
New Jersey racetrack unit will step in. See them picking dogs off the highway as cars are crashing. Come on, guys.
Calling out stupid names that their dog owners named them.
Squeezing toys. Squeezing squeaky toys. Come on.
I got a hot dog.
New Jersey racetrack unit. That's a show I'd
watch
see.
it.
I would so watch that shit. Well,
only if like Snooki has been like demoted to like that. Like that's her life now.
That's what she was. She'd be the star of it. Starring Snooki.
Or some shit.
With her badge standing there.
They're big floppy New Jersey tits.
Big overly tan, sparkly for some reason New Jersey tits.
And she overfed her child till it was like Jesus. 4 or some shit.
Well,
gotta hate her.
The New Jersey racetrack unit steps in here and arrests Rocky for possession of cocaine.
Oh boy!
So now it's not just he had a few drinks and he's trying to drive home and he's got to get to work in the morning and all that shit. Now it's possession of cocaine by the racetrack unit. So things are getting real now.
I want to know what the fuck was he like trying to finger Seabiscuit and do coke off his neck?
I think he probably was.
He's like licking his neck and sprinkling his coke on it.
Next thing you know, freeze, New Jersey racetrack unit. He's like, what? Who? Just stop. We have guns, okay? It doesn't matter where we're from.
Finger out of Seabiscuit.
Stop it. Get it out. Right now. Wash it off. We're going to cuff you. I don't want to touch it.
Amazing.
So that's June 10th of 88. August 8th of 1988, he's arrested again. Jesus Christ, guess who he's arrested by? The New Jersey racetrack unit.
What the fuck is
Stop
he doing?
going to the fucking racetrack, you dumb fuck. What is wrong with you?
What is he doing?
That's twice in 2 months you've been arrested by the racetrack. I have never even heard of the New Jersey racetrack unit. This man's being arrested multiple times over the same summer. What the shit is going on? What's he arrested for? Possession of marijuana and cocaine.
Yeah.
So stop bringing cocaine to the racetrack. Obviously, they're going to find you.
Right.
I feel like he was doing like a deal in some public, shitty, disgusting racetrack fucking restroom.
Yeah.
And then the stall doors kicked open by the racetrack unit.
Like his coke goes flying.
2 guys standing there with, they have like money and cocaine they're exchanging, and the racetrack unit. And they're like, oh, God.
One of their dicks is out.
They're trying to flush it quick. He was just sucking my dick. Right. I mean,
there was no drugs involved. This was just oral sex.
This is just gay prostitution. That's all it is. It's way different.
That's the guy who's been arrested for drugs before.
Yeah, exactly. It's not cocaine. He did like some research, and he's like, oh, it's a prostitution, much less of a charge than cocaine. So that's anytime I'm caught with a man in the bathroom stall, I'm going to just immediately start sucking his dick and say it was for cocaine. Right. That way, he's the one possessing it, and we're good.
Are you a cop? No, prove it. Pull your dick out just in case.
Let me suck that dick for a few minutes. Come on. Whip it out. I'm just going to put it in my mouth. I'm not going to actually.
I'm not going to move back and forth.
Let me put it in my mouth for like 5 seconds. Means you're not a cop, because it could be an accidental brush otherwise. So we got to make sure that you can't say it. 5 seconds is a blowjob at that point. I don't care.
Take my temperature.
What anybody says. Yeah.
I'll put it under my tongue.
So that's June 10th. He's arrested for cocaine by the racetrack unit. August 8th, 88, racetrack unit, cocaine,
Again?
marijuana. That's what we said twice in a row. Now, November 12th, 1988, it's coming fast and furious now. He is arrested in Lebanon, Ohio again for driving under the influence again.
He really likes to drink there.
He likes to drink in Lebanon and then drive fucking home. And again, he's found guilty of this charge here. He's found guilty in September of 1989 later on, which is funny because this is funny. He's convicted of the November 1988 DUI on September 14th, 1989. But on September 13th, 1989, the day before, he's convicted of that. He's arrested for driving under the influence in Warren County, Ohio again.
What an asshole.
So he's like, fuck it, I got court tomorrow. That's what it was. I got court. I'm going to go out and get trashed tonight because I got court tomorrow. Who knows what's going to happen? And so he got trashed and got arrested on the way home and was like, no, I'm on trial tomorrow. For this. Yeah. So it's good.
Good thing we're going there because...
It's like if I get a ticket for having my windshield cracked, the guy down the road's not going to give me a ticket too because I already got one. It's the same thing.
I've already got one.
I've already got a DUI. I've already been busted by the racetrack unit.
You can't give me another.
You can't give me another. I have DUI immunity now. I have driving under immunity. That's what I have now. That's what that's called. When you get the first one, now it's a DUI that way. And that's how it works.
What an asshole he is.
Yeah, he's a complete asshole.
We know a guy.
We know it.
We've said it so many times. He goes to jail in like 6 days.
I know. Jesus Christ, for the same thing. Just can't stop driving.
Why is that so funny to me?
I don't, because I think he thought the same thing. He's like, I thought once I had the first one, we were good after that.
Okay, so they gave me 2, and now I can't get one on the third one,
it's
right?
Fine, yeah. Now
I can get 3? Okay, all right.
Shit, all right.
I can't get 4, right?
No.
I can get 4? This is bullshit.
What are the odds?
What are the odds I can get 5?
What are the odds I get 5 in one lifetime?
Okay, so 5.
Okay,
now
so I have 5, but that's it. I'll just keep driving, though. It's
no,
fine.
officer, I've hit the max. I've got 5. What are you talking about? 6?
I'd say I'll keep driving, even though I haven't had a license in years. Years it's been since I've had a license. So I'm going to drive 2 places to drink, so I can then drink and then drive home with no license and 5 DUIs. And I'm sure nothing bad will come of that.
And when my license is suspended, it's suspended 4 DUIs.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Absolutely. That's the only reason why it would be suspended. I'd do fine otherwise. That's what I don't get. These people who can't stop driving under the fucking influence. Stop doing it.
Stop it. Just fucking Uber is so cheap.
Well, in 1989 it wasn't. But still, get a fucking 12-pack on the way home.
That's true.
There you go.
Yeah.
After your first DUI, I don't do that anymore.
Right.
I will get a 12-pack on the way home. I know a guy who did prison time, not the same guy, but he had so many fucking DUIs that he did prison time for it, and the whole deal, did over a year in prison for all these DUIs. He will not have a drop of alcohol if he's out anywhere.
Smart.
That's it.
He's been to prison.
He gets home and he gets shit.
Learned.
And he stops on the way home and he gets his booze. He still drinks like a fucking fish, but he does it at his house exclusively, or if he has if he's going somewhere. But if he will not drive anywhere where there's going to be alcohol because he's like, I'm not fucking drinking. I'm not going back to prison.
Right.
This guy's like, yeah.
I'll give it a chance.
It's not the racetrack unit, so I'm not scared. Maybe that's what he needed. So this problems continue now. He's been arrested by the racetrack unit. It's cocaine, but it's all stupid shit. None of it's been hurting others. I mean, he could have killed somebody driving, but he hasn't done anything that's malicious or violent or horrible yet. He's just kind of been just a jerk off,
just
basically.
Just a general
rudderless asshole, basically. This changes here on January 4th, 1991. He's with his wife, Brenda Johnson. They're at their home in Madison County, Kentucky. This is Bridges there, as we know. Yeah, I guess is that in beautiful. Kentucky, Madison County?
I have no fucking
probably
idea.
Not, but Madison County, Kentucky. They get into an argument over something that is not really clear exactly what they argued about, but it doesn't fucking matter because he takes it a little far. Let's just say he ends up hitting Brenda in the head with a shotgun. And knocking her down, and then continuing to beat her with the shotgun until she is unconscious. Okay? So that's terrible, number one.
How do we know that?
How do we know that?
How do we know all those facts? He's arrested for this?
All those facts? Well, we'll talk about it.
Okay, all right, because I'm fucking riveted right now.
This is fucking horrible, and this is it gets worse, okay? So he hits her with a shotgun, beats her until she's unconscious, so now she's unconscious, not dead, though. Okay. She wakes up, luckily, but she wakes up to about, this is the worst thing you could possibly wake up to. Okay, there's a lot of things that you don't want to wake up to. You don't want to wake up to like fire alarms, or you don't want to wake up to screaming children, things like that. Even alarm clocks, people don't want to wake up to. But that's nothing compared to waking up as your hands and feet are being tied with electrical tape and electrical cord. Okay, that's not how you want to wake up.
That's bad. I was picturing you saying fed like into a wood chipper.
No. That would be. That's almost less scary than being than having a guy beat you until you pass out and then waking up and they're tying your feet with electrical cord and electrical tape. That seems super fucking scary. Like, oh God, you might end up in a wood chipper, but what's going to happen first? What's going to happen before the wood chipper? So he, at this point, Rocky tells her, "Oh, I've been planning to kill you for a while now." He tells her, which has to be a
horrible thing.
A horrible thing again. What the fuck is going on? He then rifles through her purse, takes any valuables out of her purse, and ransacks the whole house for any valuables that she may have lying around. He then, Jesus Christ. This is fucking hard. This guy's a complete piece of shit. Jesus, every once in a while, I mean, we have all these deaths all the time and whatever, but every once in a while, there's somebody who's such a complete and utter vile fucking asshole that you're just like, you complete
especially cruel
piece of shit. Yeah, where it's not even about I was broke and I needed money and I robbed somebody, or I was this or that, or I hated this person. It's about some weird power trip. And that's the people that really fucking make me mad. This guy then forces Brenda to take several pills. We don't know what they are. To take several pills, which you don't want to take pills that you don't know what they are. Shit, and makes her lick her blood off of his shoes and hands.
Oh, my God.
Off of his shoes. He makes her lick her own blood off of his shoes. Like,
why?
Like it's her fault that she bled on his fucking shoes after he beat her with a shotgun. What a complete fucking maniac. Oh, by the way, it gets worse. It gets worse, okay? So forced her to take several pills. Now she has to lick the blood off of his hands and shoes. Then he takes a knife out and he stabs her 3 times in the back and cuts her throat.
Oh, my God.
So, holy shit. He leaves her there, steals her car, and fucking takes off. What a complete asshole this guy is. She's not dead. This is a tough woman.
That's where I was going. I was leaning on, like, that's survivable.
She's been, I mean, she had her throat cut, been stabbed 3 times, beaten with a shotgun, and taken God knows whatever pills.
Definitely survivable.
Fuck, I guess so. I mean, normally we hear he stabbed her 3 times in the back and cut her throat. We're like, that's the end of that one. Yeah, this is.
But I've seen rape survivors where they're talking.
We've talked about
they're in the trial and they've got like a nasty scar on their throat and they're like, he did this to me.
Oh, that's all the time. We hear
heroes.
People survive crazy shit all the time on this show on Crime and Sports. So he left, leaves her for dead, figures she's dead. He figured he finished the job with a throat cut there. She wakes up. She crawls her way out of the house, makes it over to her neighbor's house, crawls her way over with 3 stab wounds, a cut throat, and God knows what kind of head injury she has from the shotgun to the head, and actually gets to a neighbor's house and gets the neighbor to call the police.
Amazing.
Absolutely incredible fortitude to do that on this poor woman. That's what people's survival thing kicks in, and you have to.
But when you're bleeding that bad, too,
I don't know how you do it.
It's fucking intense.
It's amazing that she was able to do that. He's on the run. He's on the run for over a month. They can't find him. He is a fugitive, obviously.
What year is this?
This is 1991, January of 1991. He's a fugitive, clearly. Finally, February 7th, 1991, all the way, it's a month and 3 days later, he's finally arrested.
Where?
Finally, San Diego.
Wow.
He drove her car all the way to San Diego and is in San Diego.
It's a different world, isn't it?
Yeah, amazing. Can you imagine that?
You can't do that today, right?
That'd be very different. I mean, people do it. Jesus, that guy, one guy, a couple times, the guys who are going out with their students, the teachers, and they ended up in, one guy ended up in Northern California from the East Coast. Yeah. And that was with his car.
With the girl, too.
With the girl and his car that he went in. It's like, how did nobody see that across the entire country? No one said, oh, there's a middle-aged guy with a young girl in the exact car that's missing. Wow, that's amazing. Somehow it didn't. Didn't he have a Ford Escape, too?
I think
he did, which I thought was kind of amusing. But anyway, he tried. Gave it a shot. The Ford almost escapes. Sorry. So, he's then extradited to Kentucky for obvious reasons here. He's arrested for attempted murder, too. Mm-hmm. So, second-degree attempted murder, which is, I think he should be. That's a really good... I'm going to say... assault, the line that differentiates assault is when the stabbing starts. Yeah. I'm going to say even a couple shotgun butts to the head. Right. I'll give you assault on that one. Aggravated, whatever.
For sure, yeah.
But, once you start stabbing, I think you were trying to kill somebody.
Yeah. I don't think you wanted her here anymore.
Yeah, you don't stab somebody just because you're a little upset at him. That's a big decision to make. I'm going to stab this person.
Several times.
And make blood shoot out of their body. I could hit an organ. You never know. Yeah. Like,
And depending on how big this knife is, I mean,
you cut a throat.
It's enough to cut a throat. That's a pretty big knife.
That's fuck, man. You cut a throat, you're in deep shit at that point.
You're in for a penny and for a pound, but at that point,
I would say so. And he's in for more than that because he is in for April 9th, 1991. He is sentenced on this. He's found guilty. He is sentenced to 15 years in prison.
They took it dead serious.
Yeah, concurrent with 2 years for theft, also for stealing several items from the house and her car. So they had that's unlawful taking, they call it, theft. So 15 years concurrent with 2 years, so 15 years. So he's 34 years old. He's going away for 15 years to the joint here.
And that puts him at 49 by the time he gets out.
Well, let's see when he gets out. Yeah. What do you think here? You think he's going to do the whole 15?
No. I highly doubt it.
God damn it. So June he made her lick the blood off of him, man.
It's especially cruel.
I'm sorry,
just
dude.
Just making her nobody.
And it's not, and it's not even the crime at that point. It's not even the details of the crime. It's what type of person would do that, and how do you have that person walking around that's in their head that's okay to do? Fuck, man. I don't know. I mean,
how does that person not do his whole 15?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. How would you see that detail as a parole board and go, yeah, I don't think we're letting you out, brother. Sorry. Like, I don't know, man. You did that especially horribly. Like
back there, we're going to continue feeding you meals through a slot.
Well, yeah, we'll give you a bad day for most of it, but the licking the blood off, you're a fucking dick. Sorry, like we're judging you right now. You, sir, fuck off. Yeah, so they do 15. Judge him. All 15. But June 30th, 1999, he is paroled. At this point,
fucking 8 years,
and he's paroled and his supervision's transferred to Ohio, so he's out and he's in Ohio. So yeah, he does 8 years, which is not enough time for what he fucking did, I don't think. But I don't know. That's it is what it is, and especially I think also a lot of it probably had to do with the lack of violent crime on his record. Okay. I mean, they look at his record and go, yeah, you're a fuck up, but this is your first foray into violence, and I guess you have to go. You have to do it can't be a case-by-case thing, I guess, or else we'd be here forever. Right. Nothing would ever get done, I guess, at that point. There'd be cases from the 80s that are still going on and being tried. So September 18th, 2000, he is out for less than a year. Yeah. Jamie Barton of Waynesville, who we will find out who she is in a minute.
Familiar last name.
She is at this point in the process of divorcing Rocky Barton. This is his second wife now. She said, they're in the middle of a divorce, she said that he came over and tried to enter the house, caused damage to the door frame. He tried to physically enter the house through a locked door, and that she also had been receiving numerous phone calls from the subject while she had a restraining order against him. So on September 18th, 2000, he's arrested for domestic violence, which with your first charge is a very, very violent attempted murder of your first wife. And then this one, you're trying to break the door down to get into her house. I would say we could put you back away now for a while. He's arrested for domestic violence, telecommunications harassment, and criminal damage for the actual shit in the house. So October 5th, 2000, he is. This is crazy because they didn't know. This is September 18th, 2000. This didn't get to Kentucky right away. So on October 5th, 2000, the state of Kentucky releases Rocky from active supervision.
Okay.
So they're like, you're free.
Yeah.
You're all free now. Yeah. Everything's fine. Which is
thanks for being a good boy.
Yeah, which is a year after he gets out, which again is not enough. But then they hear, like that week, they hear about the domestic violence thing. They're like, never mind, rescinded. Fuck that. No, you're back again.
They can do that, huh?
Well, it happened before they put him off.
Yeah,
if it happened after, it'd be different. But it happened right so they could retroactively do it because they didn't know about it back then. I guess the computer systems probably weren't as linked as they are now, pre 9/11, shit like that. Yeah. Now everything's all linked up.
Oh, yeah.
Back then it wasn't really at all. So December 5th, 2000, the telecommunication harassment charge is dismissed, but the domestic violence charge he's guilty on that. He is sentenced on to 30 days in jail with credit for time served, I guess because he didn't actually...
Because he didn't get a hold of her?
Physically, yeah. He didn't actually get to choke the life out of her like he wanted to. Jesus Christ. 2 years probation and a $200 fine.
And he is pissed.
You know this is nice, not happy.
Oh, he is an angry man.
He's an angry, jealous son of a bitch, this guy. And you know this just pissed him the fuck off, and he probably wanted to
How dare
kill
she
her.
call the police?
Yes. So after he's convicted, he's ordered to 2 years of reported probation for the parole violation in Kentucky.
Right.
Okay. So he's returned to Kentucky. They do parole violation proceedings there because all this shit. So he's incarcerated here on February 9th, 2001. From then on, he's incarcerated. He remains incarcerated, and while he's in jail, I got to say this. It's hard to meet people.
Yeah.
It really is.
It is.
I get it. It's hard. I have a friend who tries to meet people, and it's very difficult to meet people.
Dating? Oh, forget it.
Dating's so hard. And it's not like now where there's a million online apps and all that sort of thing. In 2001, you had to be like computer savvy to date online, really, or you had to be... It had a stigma to it back then. So it was hard to meet people online, and you go out, and especially if you live in a small town.
Right.
It's not easy to meet people.
No.
I understand that. I get it.
Yeah.
But one place you should not look for people is in prison.
Yeah.
That's where you should not look for them. And Rocky finds a woman to hook up with while he's in prison for basically a double stack of domestic violence.
Yeah.
He's in prison. This is a woman named Kimberly. Kimberly with all eyes. There is no E's in that name whatsoever, or Y's. It's Kimbirli.
Oh, my
so all eyes on
She's
that
got
one.
problems already.
Right there. Kimberly actually grew up in Springboro with him.
Okay.
They've known each other since school. So they've known each other for years and years and years.
Does she work at the prison?
No. She doesn't work at the prison, but she's known him for years and years and years. Apparently, she was married to one of his best friends for over 20 years. Okay. That's how they know each other.
He knows somebody that fucked her.
He knew her from school, and then his buddy married her,
Yeah.
was with her for 20 years, and now he's in prison, and he starts hanging out with her.
Okay.
While he's in prison, she decides that this is the time.
Now he's got his life together.
Yeah, it's funny because I could see if, you haven't seen each other since high school, and, you're such a different person now, that sort of, you're in prison now. Great. Oh, look at you. Wonderful. What have you been doing over the years? Getting arrested a lot. Okay, excellent. Perfect.
Beating women.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Wow. Why are you in here? Oh, you almost broke her door down. Thanks. But that seems like you're in jail for that? That seems like you get because you were on parole.
For doing the same thing.
For cutting a woman's throat. Right. Oh, I got you. All right. For tying her up and making her lick the blood off. Okay, excellent. Yeah. This is a nice guy.
Yeah.
How do you dismiss that?
Here's my number.
Yeah. How do you dismiss that, man?
That's amazing.
Fuck, man. Jesus Christ.
In 2001, this was going on.
Yeah, this is the internet is a thing. Like, this isn't the 70s where there's no way to find out about it.
This is why, that meetaninmate.com fucking baffles
Jesus
me.
Christ.
I
don't
can't
know what
fucking
you're
believe
thinking.
that.
I mean, I get. It's a psychological thing, man.
I get the interest of people that have done bad things, and you want to talk to them and find out more about
it's
it. But
the fact that they're
to be sexually aroused by that's fucking
they're sexually
bananas.
aroused. Also, a lot of it is the fact that they're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
In there,
Oh,
they're not going to find any other women. They're not going to. Yeah, it's a lot of that sort of thing too, and it is. That's damaged people looking for other damaged people.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
They can't get away.
Then they can't get away. They should. When a woman comes in there to visit one of these guys, they should find her a cell too and push her right on in there. Sorry, honey, this is a fucking problem.
It's gonna wind up here anyway.
You're gonna be an issue, okay? This is for your own protection. You know what this fucking guy's in here for? You're gonna end up dead. So this is better. I don't know. I mean, I feel bad saying we should jail lonely women for fuck, if for their own good.
Truly,
protect them from these. Because how many times
he's
have
gonna
we heard
hurt
this?
you?
How many times have we heard that? It happens so often that you find somebody in prison for a violent crime. You think they're great, they're innocent, they're good people.
Right.
Sometimes
it's because
people
they can't be themselves right now.
No, they're trying to fucking make you not think they're a murderer in prison. It's kind of a position of weakness at that point. So they're trying to make you seem like make themselves seem like a nice guy. I
think I've said it before too. That conjugal visits, like they should change the phrase in the dictionary of what conjugal means. Because it's just prison fucking. That's not
that should be it.
Whatever
right
it says in the dictionary is not the real term.
No,
I think it's like a mutual sex or something.
It's something.
Not.
Yeah,
it's fucking. It's prison fucking. That's what conjugal is.
It doesn't even say it's sex. It says it's like a meeting. Right. It's like a meeting of your penis and somebody else's orifice. Right. Whichever one you choose. I don't know. You guys choose to engage in.
It's prison fucking.
It's prison fucking. So he says about Kimberly, quote, I was a friend, so I was always around. When I went to prison, I stayed in contact with her and her husband. I wrote, and they wrote me letters. And when I got out of prison, she was going through some rough times in her marriage. I had gotten married in prison to a lady from Kentucky, and we was going through struggling in our marriage. We were just kind of there for each other as friends.
Okay.
So, yes, the woman who you tried to break her fucking door down and you're in jail for fucking harassing, that's the problems you're having. Yes, that's the problems. I don't know. I tried to kill her and winded up in jail. That's a problem in your relationship, I would say.
Did you just say winded?
I don't know. Did I?
I think you said winded up in jail.
Oh, did I really?
It's wound up.
Jesus Christ.
You knew.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm out of it.
It was awesome.
Yes. So, what the fuck, man? Like,
how do you not get out of prison and have that just statement? Just of course, I was having problems. I beat the shit out of her, or at least tried to.
But he tried to make it sound like it was just like, we had financial problems. She wanted to move to this house, and I was like, I don't know. I think we should stay here, keep our mortgage low, and it's not that. No. Like that's probably the problems she was having, but not the problems you're having. You're having different problems. But he tried to lump them all under problems in a relationship. Like
you're having scum of society problems.
Yeah. So he said, quote, we'd always been best of friends. We could tell each other anything. She didn't look at me one way or the other. She looked at me for who I was, an asshole, a murderer, tried to be a murderer, a piece of shit, a violent fucking dickhead,
scumbag,
a total scumbag, the fucking dregs of society. How did she see you? That's how you are. She looked at you for how she wished you were, probably.
Right.
He said, she looked at me for who I was, just Rocky. And we fell in love. When we was going through our divorces, it was something that just happened. It wasn't something that we planned on. We was just there for each other, and it was good. It just felt right. So we was doing that, apparently. He loves the word was in inappropriate places. A lot.
He's just not a smart dude. He's clearly not an educated man.
No.
What does she like in him?
And we're going to have a lot of quotes from him. Normally, I don't like to give the murderer a lot of voice unless it's funny. That's like, I don't want to hear somebody try to explain their shit or try to put their manifesto out there, that sort of shit. But when someone says shit that's so stupid it's hilarious, we're going to fucking laugh at them because I feel like that's not giving them a voice. That's taking their voice away and mocking it.
It's taking away the voice that they want and giving them their actual voice.
This is what it should be. We're translating. We translate from asshole to normal person really well. That's what we've done over this 2-year period of these podcasts is learned how to. I speak fluent asshole. I really do. I will figure out what he's trying to say. So she found something good, and she found out that she needed to latch on to this thing and never let it go. So they get married in prison on June 23rd, 2001. Can't even wait till he gets out.
No.
Now we
Who
need
knows?
to get married. Well, that looks good for parole board, too.
Yeah.
So I got married. That way you have a support system when you come out. Here's my wife. She's very nice. She shows up and says, I love Rocky. I'll take care of him. I'll make sure he doesn't kill me. I'll make sure he doesn't try to kill me.
I mean, that's the last person you want talking to a parole board is the person that's playing the role of the people that you've genuinely committed the worst crimes against.
I guess you need that voice to go like, I'm not afraid of him.
Right.
If I'm not afraid of him and he's going to come live with me,
he's reformed,
then no one else should be afraid of him. The only people he's tried to attack are people he's married to, so I'm the only one who should care.
And I trust him.
And I think he's great. So let's find out how that works out, shall we? So February 1st, 2002, Rocky is discharged. It's the minimum expiration of his sentence. He's discharged. He's released here. They move into a farmhouse in Warren County in Waynesville. It's on Bellbrook Road. It's owned by his father, Donald, who's an interesting fellow who we'll talk about later. He moves in with Kim and her 17-year-old daughter, Jamie, from the previous marriage also.
Oh, boy.
So she's got a 17-year-old into the equation. You want to bring your kids around a guy like this, too,
right.
Obviously. He says that it was crazy leaving prison. He says, leaving prison, I've never been more terrified in my life. The times had changed so much that I couldn't even pump gas at a gas station. When I left, all you had to do was flip the lever and press the handle and the gas pump hose, and you got gas. Now, when you got out, you had to push buttons, and they turned on the inside of the station, and I couldn't even pump my own gas.
Do you know why? Because of people like you, sir, who would just steal it.
Yeah. He said, and computers had pretty much took over. No shit. Well, he's been in jail almost continuously from 91 to 2002.
Yeah.
That's a weird time to be in jail for, because the world really did completely change. If you were in jail from 71 to 81, you'd be like, oh, there's cable now? Right. But I mean, like, sort of. There's instead of 3 channels, there's 12 now? Oh, wow. But otherwise, it's still the same thing. It's still a phone and a TV, and then you do your thing. It's normal.
He missed Michael Jordan in a bat. You know
That's what I mean. He had to be like, no. He played, what now? Get the fuck out of here. He didn't play baseball.
He missed all kind of shit.
Yeah, to get out then, 91 to 2002, the world was a 100% different place. That's like those 10 years are the most changed in the last 300 years.
Truly.
Nothing's ever changed that fast before.
We went from whipping the Middle East ass in like what turned out to be like a sticks and stones match to like them fucking keeping it close.
You know what I mean? I've been in here for a full circle on that one. So,
and the U.S. was in peacetime for so long at that point. And then he gets out, and he's like, everybody hates us?
What the fuck happened? So he said computers pretty much took over. It was terrifying. Around home where I had grown up, there was houses everywhere, so I never really got lost, but I never really felt comfortable with the traffic and all the people. And there was another thing. I hated being around a bunch of people. I hated going to stores or out in public. I was more comfortable being at home on the farm. I lived on a farm. I was more comfortable there and with my family. So he's so comfortable with his family that on September 5th, 2002, he's arrested for disrupting public service and domestic violence. Because he's so comfortable on the family. So
that's where he feels most comfortable to commit his crimes.
Yeah, he's been out very short amount of time now. You know, he's been out 6 months, so it's time to start fucking knocking his wife around again, obviously. Jesus Christ.
Disrupting public service.
We'll find out here. She says the police spoke with Kimberly after this, and she said that Rocky grabbed her by the shoulders, pushed her up against a kitchen wall, and then shoved her down into a chair, and then drug her into the living room and threw her onto the couch. So there's no weapons involved, but this is how it starts. And then it escalates from there. When he sees that he can get away with that, next thing you know, there's a shotgun and a bat, and he's kicking doors down, and we know how this goes. So she said that she tried to call her daughter. She tried to grab the phone and call her daughter, which call the police first, then your daughter later.
Why is that your first phone call?
Yeah, which I don't know that situation. I don't know what your mindset would be, so I can't really say anything about that. But she grabbed so she gets the phone to call her daughter, and Rocky comes and grabs the phone and pulls the cord out of the wall. That's what you can't do.
That's illegal.
That's a separate crime right there. So then Rocky tells Kimberly that if she leaves him, it's going to be a murder-suicide situation. That's what he says.
Oh, boy.
So she's like, oh, my. So then he left the house, and then once the police were there, she told them what happened, but then said he left the house, it's over, and I don't want to file any charges. She refused to provide a written statement. So without that... without her written statement, 2 weeks later, the charges are dismissed.
Of course.
I mean, they have to arrest him, but
gotta be a victim.
She's saying, nope, not saying shit. They don't have a witness. They don't know what happened at that point. She wouldn't even write the statement down to be used later in court. So things are going so well with them. I mean, obviously, this is a match made in heaven, really.
Truly.
Obviously, it's truly a dream situation. You want to marry a guy in prison, and then hopefully he'll be violent later. That's all you can hope for. Fingers crossed, gals.
Trees of green and eyes of black and blue.
Fuck, man, yeah. Jesus Christ. I mean, this is not. Whew.
What the fuck? I just don't understand. I mean, look.
I know.
It's so deep and it's so sticky.
It's such a psychological thing.
It's such a gray thing.
Fuck, man.
It's fucked up that women are okay with this.
Well, they're not okay with it. Right. It's just that's psychologically they think that's. I mean, there's a lot of different reasons.
There's fearful. There's all
fearful.
Kinds of things.
Some have a low self-worth and they think that's all they're worth, and it's psychological thing.
Right.
Whatever horrible things that have been done to them over the course of their life is now manifesting in them staying here.
That white trash cycle. And that could be a black person. It could be anybody.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter.
It's that white trash cycle.
White trash is a thing of its own.
It's fucking universal.
Nothing to do with white anything. It's just that behavior.
It's just that.
It's like panhandle behavior.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's never mind white. It's just all panhandle behavior. That takes the race out of it and makes it what it is. It's just... you're acting like you're from a panhandle. Cut the shit.
Just tomfoolery for no good fucking reason.
Fucking nickery. Put it back in your pocket. What's wrong with you? So... The things are going so well, you would assume, hopefully, maybe she's figuring out how to get out of the marriage, how to fucking, get a divorce.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, what I get myself into?
Right.
No, they plan to renew their wedding vows in May or June of 2003.
Because you reset this, James.
It'll all be fine.
Right.
It's like having a baby. It'll make everything better.
Right.
It's the same thing. Like, well, if we just renew our vows, I feel like the setting of our wedding was the problem.
Right.
That's what it was. If we didn't get married in jail, we would get along swimmingly.
But if we renew, then it's all fresh again.
Oh, it's going to be fresh.
And then in 6 months, it'll be a mess again. But if we renew again...
If we do it like once a year, I'll beat you up maybe periodically, but not all the time like I would have anyway. Woof, man.
It's that honeymoon stage of the goddamn abuse. It's a cycle, goddammit.
It is, man. And they're their relationship is described by Kim's 22-year-old daughter, Tiffany, as, quote, sometimes good, sometimes bad. The highs were very high, the lows were really low. Mm-hmm. It's one of these relationships.
It's called abuse,
It's
sugar.
called an abusive relationship, absolutely. Also, Kim has the other daughter, Julie, described their relationship as up and down, really good or really bad. Yeah. So separately... they both describe
separately. It's the same.
It's the same. It's one night everything's great. Next day you go over there and all the furniture's broken. Right. And you're like, what the fuck is going on in here? There's holes punched in the drywall and shit like that.
And the saddest part is that Kim's not winning a single one of these fights.
No,
you know what I mean? She's losing every one of them.
Not physically, not mentally,
emotionally.
Not emotionally.
It's all just
She's taking the brunt of all of this. Tiffany describes Rocky as, quote, very moody, possessive, controlling, and just very manipulative. Great description. Yeah. That's on his Tinder, I think, right there. Very moody, possessive, controlling, and just very manipulative in general. That's going to get you a lot of
Let's have
swipes.
Sushi.
Yeah, but I love sushi and hiking. Let's hike a mountain and get some sushi. How's that sound? Great. See, I'm sorry. I'm trying to control and manipulate the situation. My bad. Wow. Julie also thought at times, said of Barton, he could be, quote, very jealous, very controlling, very manipulative, always accusing Kim of things and causing fights. So that's how it went. He was very jealous, and this is the same thing with his other marriages. He would accuse the women of cheating. He'd accuse the women of talking to people or wanting to leave the house or whatever the fuck insane thing in his mind triggered a jealous rage. And he would accuse them of things. They'd deny it, so then he'd start a big fight because then you're lying to me, and then it turns into that. Basically, the domestic violence handbook. Right. It's pretty much what it is. It's
crazy, too, because he's got like this whole abandonment issue that somebody's just going to leave him for somebody else.
Yeah.
Yet he left his whole family all the time for drugs.
For drugs,
you know what I mean?
All the time.
He was not abandoned.
He has a son that he had in the 80s.
Okay.
So he has a son that's still going on right now from his first marriage.
And he has no abandonment issues there.
No, he's fine with that. That's what I mean. No worries.
Jerk.
Now, Jamie, the 17-year-old, Julie's a 27-year-old. Julie, 27, these are Kimberly's daughters. Julie, 27, Tiffany, 22, Jamie, 17. This is at the time in 2002. This was. She agreed that he did act controlling and possessive, but she's a kid, too, mind you. She doesn't see... A 17-year-old sees things way different than a 27-year-old or 22-year-old even. And she said she also felt very close to him and said that that he was really the only father figure that she could depend on.
Okay.
So the only father figure is an ex-convict that your mother found in prison and brought home and pushes your mom around once in a while. That tells you the kind of marriage that Kimberly was in before, therefore probably what her childhood was like, and it just describes everything perfectly, I think. If this guy is the father figure she can depend on.
Also, he's a tough guy, and she's a child, and he
seems like
she's naive and thinks the world can still hurt her.
Looks like you can put a lot on his shoulders.
Right.
I think
nobody's
going to
fuck with that crazy man.
Exactly. Yeah, he'll stab them 3 times and cut their throat, even if they didn't fuck with him. Jesus Christ, man. So this relationship is just it doesn't sound like something that's going to last 20 goddamn years, obviously. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, I think they'll be fine. It's just a rough patch. They'll get through it. This just sounds like these two people, it's a bad fucking cocktail, as we've said.
And that's kind of a moment that we can have right quick to explain to, if they're, because there's a lot of young girls that listen to this show.
Yes.
Don't pick a man yet, by the way, because you don't know what you want yet. Give it time.
No, it's true. You don't need to be with anybody right now. You don't have to be. You can be if you want to be, but you don't have to be. It's not your worth is not dependent on somebody else's bullshit. Just
take your time.
Know that shit. I know you're getting advice.
Change the fucking world.
You're getting advice from us, like we know how to be an adult woman and how to. We really know how to craft young female minds, Jimmy. We know how to really mold them and get them out there for the best.
I'm just saying, this is a good example. Yeah, we do.
We both have daughters, and I tell my daughter this shit all the time.
Yeah.
Like, you don't fucking need anybody. Nobody. You're fine on your own for as long as you want to be on your own. Know
you can
that's
be 40
fine.
And be single, and you're doing great.
You're fine. I don't give a shit what you do. That's just, don't find some dickhead.
Just don't pick some guy because you think he can protect you.
And every time we've had in crime and sports and small-town murder, every time we've had somebody who, that's the main thing, is like the woman found that this guy will protect her, and we've had exact quotes of that. It's never good. It's always a violent asshole. It's always a violent asshole.
He'll always hurt you.
Yeah, he'll protect you unless you make him mad, and then he'll hurt you, and you'll need protection from him, not by him. So January 16th, 2003. This is about 5-6 months before they're supposed to renew their vows, but a few months after the first domestic violence incident. So it's that it's that calm before the storm period that happens. You know what I mean?
It's all so
clear.
Beautiful.
The birds are chirping. Everything's fine. But this morning, things are not fine. Rocky wakes Jamie, the 17-year-old, wakes her up at 7:20 a.m. and tells her to get her things together. He says, quote, "You're going to Tiff's house. The wedding's off. Your mom's a psycho bitch." That's his wake-up quote. "You're going to Tiff's house. Wedding's off. Your mom's a psycho bitch." And then he walks out of the room. Like, okay.
All right.
Which is, I don't know, odd for a 17-year-old. Like, I don't know. What the
also,
hell.
You're already married to her.
Yeah.
What do you mean the wedding's off?
Second wedding's off. We're married once. I'm not double marrying her. That's off. I married her one time per... She's rubbing the sleep. But aren't you already married?
What the fuck are you talking about?
That doesn't make a difference. And it's not like the wedding was that day.
Right.
And like we're going to renew our vows and all our friends were coming over and I rented a tux. Right. It's in 6 months. A wedding that doesn't matter because you've already been married. It's so stupid. So Rocky drives Jamie to Tiffany's house and tells Tiffany that her mother, Kimberly, had, quote, had gone off the deep end and that she was crazy and that she was leaving him. So that's what she tells Tiffany. He's just really in a big tizzy. Yeah. Jamie described Rocky as acting, quote, really strange and aggravated, which it sounds like exactly what it is. She's gone off the deep end. She's crazy. She's leaving me. She's a psycho bitch. The wedding's off. He's just doing that.
I love psycho bitch as an insult.
That's pretty. It's very
just
much
a blanket.
It's very much like an '80s guy who does construction would say that, like a guy from the '80s that does, this fucking psycho bitch. Can you believe this? He's telling his buddies on the site. Yeah. Let me tell you about this psycho bitch I went out with the other night. Right. Like one of those assholes. So this 7:30 a.m. Kim arrives at her job at LASIK Plus. Eye center thing. She works as a technical assistant. That morning, her co-workers, Carla Reber and Molly Wolfer, they said they both remembered hearing that Barton had called more than 6 times that morning. Yeah. So it might have been more. They could add up 6 times between those two that they knew of that he called. Who knows if they added, she called again and she answered, or it went to voicemail or whatever. He insisted on being placed on hold while Kim tended to patients. Often they said for as long as like 15 minutes. Like
he's just sitting there on the phone waiting.
He's like, I'll wait.
Yeah.
Well, she's with a patient right now. It's going to be a while.
I
I'll
got
wait.
time.
Yeah, I'll wait. Which is why would you wait?
Right.
You're a crazy person. Anyone who has just I'll hold. I have time. I'm right away. I'm very skeptical of this person. Yes. Not even a. Nothing. Just like, no, that's cool. I got it.
I call somewhere and they're like, hold, please. When they answer the phone and they go, whatever this place is, hold, please. I go, fuck no.
Yeah,
I'll call you later.
Yeah, well,
I'm not gonna start this conversation on hold.
You seem busy.
Right.
You seem busy. So Reber, the one woman, Carla Reber, described Barton on the phone as very angry, and Wolfer, the other woman, described him as very agitated, very angry, and very irate. Mm-hmm. So he's aggravated, angry, irate, and agitated so far this morning, being described by everybody. But
all kind of time.
All kinds of time. He's got...
The one thing he is
time.
Patient.
Oh, he's got so much time. He's got patience. He knows how to do time. He's got time. Time is on his side, is what it is. But he's going to be angry while he does. And this is funny because this is happening all morning. So he's holding this level of anger. Yeah. He dropped Jamie off. He was angry then. He's calling for hours over here. Still angry every time. If you can be on hold for 15 minutes and still be angry, and then wait again and still be angry, you're fucking angry. That's way too much anger. You need to chill out.
Man.
Yeah. I guess around 10:30 a.m., Kim had spoke to him on the phone and told her coworkers that she heard shots fired. She said she told the coworkers that she heard a bang over the phone.
On the phone.
Over the phone while she was on the phone with him. Later on, it's discovered that there's a spent shotgun shell in the bedroom, which he just fired off a shotgun in the bedroom while he was talking to her.
That's bananas.
So mad you're firing off shotguns in your bedroom at nobody.
What the fuck is he doing?
What I think this is a guy who punched the drywall one too many times and hit a stud and broke his hand once. He goes, I don't think so anymore.
Not punching ever
boom,
again.
I just shoot holes in the walls like Elvis. Just angry at things, I shoot them in my own house.
Is it birdshot or slugs? Like
fucking crazy, man.
Either way, that's a lot of work you've got to do.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's a lot. You're gonna have to fix that drywall.
I've shot a tree with a slug before. It will take a chunk out of a fucking tree.
Yeah, he's fucking his walls up pretty good here.
He's a nutcase.
So her coworker described Kim as crying at this point over all this, obviously, because he's screaming at her, calling her, harassing her all morning, and then firing shots off in the bedroom. So you got to feel like the world is a little heavy at this point if you're Kim. You know, they said that she was very frantic and very scared. So he's agitated, angry, aggravated, and she's frantic and scared. So very opposite things we're talking about here. So Kim leaves at 10:30 a.m. From work because this is just getting overwhelming. She can't even be with a customer for 5 minutes. Before she leaves, though, she calls her daughter Tiffany and asks her whether it's okay for Kim and Jamie to temporarily move in with her to get out of this house away from Rocky, obviously. Tiffany describes her mother as, I love these descriptions, I don't love that this is happening to her, but describes her as hysterical, frantic, and scared. So hysterical, frantic, scared, frantic, very scared.
And this is Tiffany.
This is Tiffany describing her mom, and then we're going up against angry, agitated. It's a lot of adjectives are going on right now.
And at this point,
meet ahead here.
It's 2002, 2003?
2003, yeah.
2003, and Tiffany's very well aware of this man's record, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. She said, come on over. She said, totally fine. Yeah, you guys can stay here.
She's got a mom who's hysterical, frantic, and scared.
Yes.
Maybe we call the cops.
I would say so. That would be my move.
Yeah.
But who knows what their relationship is.
Good point.
Who knows, because we said before.
We're outsiders looking in.
Who knows that relationship beforehand with her first husband? Right. Who knows if she's... You don't know what... Right. And she knows her mom. She knows the deal here.
It's but a frog in boiling water analogy.
Maybe we should call the cops just to get you some form of protection. I don't know. Something. Also, he talked to... Rocky kept making phone calls, man. He was a...
He's a dialing
He got his Rolodex
bitch.
out that morning and he was, I'm going to call everyone I know here. And click. Around 7:45 a.m., he called his employer and said that he would not be coming to work that day. He left a message saying that he had a family emergency and could not come to work that day. Right. So he leaves a message.
Psycho bitch.
At least he didn't no call, no show.
Yeah.
I got a psycho bitch over here. I was going to come, but now, we was talking, and now she's just being a psycho bitch. And I'm agitated, angry, if I had to describe. aggravated.
Jot this down.
From what I understand, she is frantic and scared. So if you just, this is all on the message. Okay, good. I'll call you tomorrow, though. I'll be back in. Don't worry about it. So he
see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. So around 10:45 a.m., he spoke with his supervisor, Carol Williamson, and informed her that Kim had been, quote, acting strange due to her medication, and that Kim intended to leave him. So
he tells his boss that?
He tells his boss that I can't make it because my wife's been acting strange, and her medication is causing her to act strange, and that she intends to leave me. I guess that's a good reason why you can't come in today. Yeah. But he could have just said, my kid's sick or my something. He could have made
some
something
shit going on.
Could have made something up better than that. My hot water heater exploded. Right. I got to be here for the guy. Like something. You could say anything literally to get out of one day of work.
But medication, he's bringing in a lot.
He's real, and she hung up going, Jesus, thank God he didn't come in with all this bullshit. Boy.
The wedding's off. She's a psycho bitch. She's all on the medication. I got to cancel some caterers and a DJ.
I mention I'm aggravated and agitated and very angry?
Jot this down.
Because you're going to want to tell somebody later. He also calls Randy Hacker, who is Julie's former husband, the 22-year-old, not the 17-year-old. That's Jamie. The 22-year-old's former husband. So he calls...
He's calling exes.
He's calling up his daughter-in-law's fucking...
His stepdaughter's ex-husband.
Daughter-in-law. Right. His daughter-in-law's ex-husband to complain about Kim and Julie. That's what he did. He called her up and said that...
Hey, how you doing? Remember me?
I got to tell you, she's acting strange. Her medication. Did I mention I'm aggravated?
Jot this down.
Jot this down. Right. I don't know how to fucking spell it. Just, I'm mad.
Hey, Mr. Hacker, have you got a pen? Jot this down.
All right. Oh, my God. So he said Rocky seemed edgy and irritated. And then also Rocky left Hacker a message saying, quote, before I go on to my demise, I should call you. That's what prompted him to call him back and be like, what's up, dude?
How you been?
Problems. And then he told him all of that. Also, and he called, they talked like 3 times that day. They're going back and forth, these two. Rocky told Hacker that Kim intended to move out and that he would not be going back to jail. Yeah. Which is like, well, why would you be going back to jail just because she's moving out? That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, you've changed your life. Good for you.
I'm going to go ahead and get off the phone now. I got a lot of stuff going on, and I don't want to have to tell the police about this later. Right. So, thank you.
I don't have any more paper left to jot down.
I've jotted everything down. My wrist is sore. So, Kim's moving out, and I'm not going back to jail.
Right.
All right. Those things have nothing to do with each other whatsoever. Nothing whatsoever. That is insane. That's insane. I hate traffic, but pork chops are good with rosemary. Okay? Those are not...
Those don't... There should be a lot more conversation in between those two statements.
I feel like you're connecting things that are... just disparate things you're putting together here. So, he says that. Barton also called several times, spoke on the phone with Glenn Barker, not Hacker. This is Barker, who's an insurance agent. Barker has a background in counseling, and this fucking crazy bastard, offered to serve as a mediator between Rocky and Kim. Fuck that. I don't care who's going to fucking kill who. I don't care what. I am not mediating two married people that are fucking fighting with each other. That is not happening.
Jesus and the police.
Yeah, not me. Pick one.
Right.
Jesus, the police, both. I don't fucking know.
Fuck out of my office, though.
No. Barton then, so Rocky comes and visits Barker at his office at 9:30 a.m., and Barton said that Rocky seemed calm and quiet. But he was anxious. Jesus Christ. But Rocky also really wanted to speak to his father in Florida, but couldn't get a hold of him, he said. So then Barker, the insurance agent, calls Kim at work on Rocky's behalf. So now she's getting calls from Rocky. She's with patients. Now it's some other guy calling.
Some counselor.
For Rocky.
Right.
So this is like, it has to be crazy.
Counselor / insurance agent.
Yeah, insurance agent, counselor. So I think you two should work it out. Talking sometime can be the most important thing. Hey, how y'all doing on home and auto? You should really make sure to get the fire. I know Ohio isn't a big earthquake area, area, but if it happens, you want to have insurance.
I
you want to be covered.
We are between two creeks.
Do you know that?
Do you have flood insurance?
Because I could sell it to you. By the way, your relationship. No. So, he
Fuck
called
this
there.
Guy.
Barker said that Rocky adamantly refused to allow Kim to go home and collect her possessions from the house. This guy's being the mediator. He calls Kim, and Kim just says, I just want to go get my shit and get away from him. And he tells Rocky this, and Rocky says, fuck no.
Yeah.
She is not coming to get her shit. Bullshit. She's not taking it. I'm going to control her by keeping all of her stuff. Yeah. Basically, she can't move out without her stuff.
Right.
She's not really moved out of her shits here. You can't do that, man. So Rocky's father, Donald, talked to Rocky and Kim, both. Again, now he's getting calls from her father-in-law. Wow, man. He's trying to defuse the situation. He tells Rocky not to worry about anything, that if Kim might take from the farmhouse, it could because Rocky's like, she's going to take my stuff too. Donald said, don't worry about it. I think Donald's got a little bit of cash, it seems like.
All right.
A little bit of cash in his bank account.
Okay.
He's got a farmhouse that he can just let them live in.
That's a good point.
He tells Rocky not to worry about anything. If Kim takes anything from the farmhouse, it can be replaced.
It's stuff.
It's just stuff. Don't worry about it. Donald also said that Kim could keep the car that she was driving, Donald's car. Uh-huh. She said that she could keep the car.
That's nice.
She's currently driving. Just let her go. Let her take the car. Let her get her stuff. Move on. I think the father's like, just don't stab her and try to cut her throat for the love of God.
To murder this
Can
one.
you not? Please. Can we get out of this without charges being filed? Is that
you
a thing
already
that we can
fucked
do?
up the drywall. Leave my house alone.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Thanks, dickhead. I'm giving your wife cars and letting her live in a place you're shooting up my drywall like it's nobody's business. Don't give your kids shit. This is what happens.
Don't stain my fucking carpet with your ex-wife, you fucking asshole.
Jesus Christ. Also, Larry Barton, who's Rocky's uncle, spoke with Rocky several times during the day. So far, literally, it's probably I've 25, 30 calls this guy's made before 10:30 a.m.
He's like a 17-year-old girl.
Yeah, just dialing up everybody he knows. So he offered, his uncle Larry offered assistance.
Yeah.
Rocky told Larry that he thought the police would be called if Kim tried to take her stuff back. The police would be called, and he vowed that he, quote, wouldn't go back to jail. So he will not go back to jail, this guy.
He's got to stop saying that.
Yeah, I would say so. So
that's like that's menacing, isn't it? Isn't that a threat already?
I'm not going back to jail. Right. That means like I'll burn this motherfucker to the ground with both of us in it. That's what that means.
There's no misinterpreting that fucking phrase.
I'm not going back to jail. Yet I'm planning on doing something horrible.
Right.
That's bad.
Yeah.
That horrible thing's going to escalate to get out of going back to jail.
Every time.
Every fucking time. So finally, 11 o'clock a.m., Kim arrives at Tiffany's house. Rocky calls 25 or 30 times. At that point.
That's a lot.
Yes, I would say so. Jamie and Tiffany overheard Rocky cursing and yelling. That's how loud he was yelling on the phone, that they could hear it through the phone receiver, and yelling on the telephone, and described his voice as scary. Jamie overheard him tell Kim, quote, I'm going to kill you, you fucking bitch. Yes, that's pretty clear.
What a terrible thing.
And I'm not going back to jail.
Right.
So then she said that Jamie said this caused Kim to become, quote, really nervous and scared while crying and shaking. Yeah. So, nervous, scared, crying, shaking, angry, aggravated, agitated. These are all
terroristic feelings.
One side has one specific group of adjectives, and the other side has another very specific group of adjectives.
And they are complete opposites.
Complete opposites, but they go together.
Right.
When one person's aggravated and angry and agitated, the other person may be nervous, scared,
all these terrible things that are responsible for their feelings that you feel because of the other ones.
Yeah, they're going to do that. So, she's crying and shaking. Around 3 o'clock p.m., Kim and Jamie, the 17-year-old, make plans. They say, all right, we're going to go back to the farmhouse and get my shit, my clothes, and some of my things that we can get. Whatever we can fit in the car, we're going to go grab. At least get the clothes. So Larry arrives at Tiffany's house. Larry is Rocky's uncle, Larry Barton. He arrives at Tiffany's house. I'm sorry, not at Tiffany's house. He arrives at the farmhouse. Why the fuck would he go to Tiffany's house? He arrives at he's like, I don't know what's happening. You just shrug your shoulders like, how the fuck do I know anything? This is all you, dude.
I've never heard this story.
So he arrives at the farmhouse. to, I don't know, try to
help?
mediate, I guess. Rocky had locked the gate, which he never did. He was never locked the gate to the farmhouse, so he doesn't want her coming to get her shit. Larry asked Rocky to open the gate, but Rocky refused to allow him onto the property. Wouldn't let his uncle come on the property. He kept saying, Rocky would yell out, he kept yelling out, "I've lost it," which I don't know what that is. He stood near his own truck behind the locked gate while Larry was parked in the road. So he's got his truck in front of the locked gate, and he's standing behind it going, "I've lost it. You're not coming in. I lost my shit. Drive away. Sir, keep driving." "Okay, but just wave." "All right, thanks." And just keep waving. If you just say thank you, like it's the Costco thing. If you say thank you and wave, that gives you 5 seconds in any situation, or at least 3 seconds.
For them to process that shit.
For the person to, if it's not a situation where they've given you anything that you should be thanking them for, before they will have anything else to say, they will take 3 seconds to make sure that they shouldn't say, "You're welcome." They will. They'll take 3 seconds.
No matter how impolite that person is.
And you can leave.
Right.
Because it's just habit. It's in your brain. So then you can always get away. Just whenever anything's if someone comes up to you with a gun and says, "Give me all your money," just go, "Thank you," and wave and walk away. You have 3 fucking seconds. Before they're like, what? No, I'm fucking waiting. No, I'm robbing you. Because at first they'd be like, did that motherfucker just, what the? They would be confused.
Yeah, for a second at least.
You'd have 3 seconds if you just go, "No, thank you," "Thank you," and wave, and then run away. Then you leave them standing there. They'd be, "Oh shit, I better chase this guy." I don't know.
Where they regroup and fucking figure out what their job is.
Like, huh? Oh wait, no, I'm not supposed to care what he says. I'm just supposed to take shit. I'm a robber. Fuck. Okay. So Kim and Jamie arrive. But Rocky there, now he unlocks the gate, and he instructs Larry to lock it after they entered. Okay. So Larry's on the outside of the gate, and he lets Kim and Jamie in and says, "Lock this fucking gate back up." Why do you want me to lock the gate back up? He says, quote, "I don't want the police coming in." Okay, why would the police be coming in, sir? Just let her get her shit and leave, and police don't ever need to be involved in this. You can have interpersonal, things go on without the police being involved. It's possible. It's possible to talk to someone, to give them things. You know what? I lead pretty much 100% of my life with 0 police involvement. None. The police are never involved.
Never.
It's really weird. So you can absolutely do things without that.
Very common thing for me to get home from the day of whatever the fuck I do and have 0 police involvement.
It happens every day. It's pretty cool. So then...
White privilege.
Oh, yeah. No shit, right? So Rocky then gets in his truck and he backs up, according to his uncle, quote, real fast into the garage and closes the garage door.
Okay, here's the other thing, real quick. As Kim and Tiffany, is it Tiffany that's there?
It's Jamie.
Jamie. So as Kim and Jamie, when he says, lock that behind him, be like, never mind.
Yeah,
Fuck
I think
my
we're going to
shit.
turn around now. Never mind. Don't need clothes that bad.
Fuck my shit.
Yeah, you know what? We'll head over to the dress barn.
Keep it.
And we'll figure this out. So we're good.
See how you look in that sundress, fuckface.
He's got to leave sometime. You know, he can't call in every day to work. So
eventually Carol's going to need that fat ass in there doing whatever the fuck he does.
Whatever the hell you're doing here. So he gets in his truck, backs in it real fast into the garage, and closes the garage door behind him.
Okay.
And then Larry says that Larry and Kim drove separate cars, obviously, because they're in separate cars, onto the property. So now they're all 3 cars are on the property. Okay. Barton's truck in the garage, her car pulled up, Larry's car right there also. Okay. Now, as Kim gets out of the car in the driveway, she gets out of the car and she turns to, you turn to shut your door.
Right.
If you don't, you're not going the way you're walking, you turn around and shut the door. As she does that, Rocky, comes out of the side door of the garage. Mm-hmm. He pops out of the side door of the garage, which is right there, with a shotgun in his hand. He runs toward Kim as she gets out of the car, goes to lock her door, and yells, quote, "You aren't going anywhere, you fucking bitch."
Okay.
So he does that, which that's bad enough on its own, but what follows is worse. He then fires the shotgun within 4 to 6 feet of her. Between 4 and 6 feet away from her, he fires the shotgun, hits her in the side.
At her. Holy shit.
Shoots her in the side, hits her with the shotgun the shotgun blast here. So she falls, but then she's moving toward her daughter, yelling, "Jamie, Jamie, Jamie," toward her daughter, like trying to get help for it. It's just horrible, man. Jamie is reaching down for her mother, but Jesus Christ. So she's on the ground with a shotgun wound, crawling toward her teenage daughter, begging for help. And as she's doing this, very close to her daughter. Barton comes up from a distance of a foot away and shoots her in the back again.
Oh, my God.
Close range, cold-blooded.
Right in front of her.
Right in front of the daughter, in front of his uncle. But, I mean, the daughter's right there.
Yeah.
Like I said, that he has no remorse or no anything for anybody or no regard for anything. From a distance of a foot. So, I mean, he put it right up and boom, blasted her again in the back. She fell back down to the ground at this point. So Jamie is there, and Jamie's trying to reach her.
Ruined forever. And this poor girl, she's saying, "Can you hear me, Mom? Can you hear me? Stay with me." She's doing that whole thing. Right.
Trying to keep her fucking conscious.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. So then Barton, Rocky here, this asshole, goes next to his uncle's truck and says, quote, "I told you I was insane."
Yeah.
He says, "I told you I was insane." Then he dropped to his knees and shot himself in the face. He puts the shotgun in his fucking mouth and shoots himself in the face.
Holy shit.
Okay? But he doesn't die.
Okay.
Shoots himself in the face with a shotgun, then gets up and walks into the house.
That's a tough con.
That's a tough son of a bitch.
Wow.
Shoots himself in the face, doesn't kill him, fucks him up like
I'm sure.
wouldn't imagine.
Yeah.
And then walks into the house. "Hey, everybody who's trying to shoot yourself, I don't want anybody to kill themselves, but if you've just done some shit like this, I don't care whether you live or die or not. Make sure you got to have an upward trajectory." That's the problem.
You really got to get to the brain.
It's the brains are up. That's the thing. So you want to get up there. You don't want to just blow your mouth off.
You put it under the chin, not in the throat.
That's how it works, yeah. So he does that. Jamie and Larry both called 911. They show up. Obviously, they find Kim found not breathing. They got no pulse. She's dead, basically. When they get her, the autopsy shows that she died from shotgun wounds of the left shoulder and right back regions, injuries to her lungs, heart, and liver because she was sprayed. He, at this point, we'll talk about what happens to him. When he shot himself, he blew out most of his teeth. He required 4 surgeries and a whole bunch of pins and wires and screws to hold his eyes into their sockets.
Wow.
And he required a cadaver's jaw to replace his jaw.
Why did they do that for him?
I have no fucking idea. They should be like, "Good, you look like that now, dickhead."
Leave him without a jaw like
or
a cancer
eyeballs.
patient.
Yeah,
Fuck
let his
him.
eyeballs keep. No, you know what? Put his eyeballs in, but make it so they don't stay. Make it so they keep falling out all the time. He's going to keep putting. Oh shit! Again, every time he bends over, he's like, "My eye fell out." Hold on. Everybody stop. That's not it's an actual whole eyeball. Wait, guys.
It's real.
That's not a contact. It's a whole fucking eyeball.
It's still attached. It's just rolling around. Make him switch. No jaw. Just make him switch between holding an eye and a tongue into his fucking head.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like Alec Baldwin in Beetlejuice. Yes. That's what I want. That's what I want this asshole to be. He says, quote, "I was a jealous husband." No shit. He says that he shot himself. He said, quote, "I blowed out all my teeth except for 11.
Jesus.
I had 4 major surgeries for reconstructing my face."
Blowed out.
I blowed out 4 of my teeth. 4 of my teethers.
All but 11. Like that's.
I blowed out all my chompers. But but 11.
I'm shocked that 11 stayed. That's pretty impressive.
That's not too fucking bad. So this complete piece of shit here, they find him in the house alive. They said alert and cooperative. Well, no shit. They had injuries to his chin, mouth, and nose. They find the murder weapon. It's a .410 pump-style shotgun. Okay. They found 4 spent shotgun shells. They also recovered 6 live shells from him at the hospital. He still had those on him.
Pocket.
Yeah, like just in case he needed to reload. I don't know how many shotgun shells you need to kill your wife. Yeah. At least he didn't shoot the daughter. I'll say that. He says, quote, "I just remember shooting my wife, but I don't know what was clicking in my head at the time I pulled the trigger."
I mean, nothing.
Nothing, really. And I don't know, the same thing that happened when you were stabbing your ex-wife, I would assume, probably. It's that sort of thing. So February 10th, 2003, he is charged with a count of aggravated murder with a gun specification and an aggravating circumstance on the specification, having a weapon while under disability, which is because he was a felon.
Right.
So he's an attempted murderer. Right. You're not allowed to have shotguns, obviously. Right. So the grand jury returns a 2-count indictment against him, charging him with the aggravated murder with prior calculation and design, which is a death penalty specification.
All right.
For his also his prior conviction of attempted murder. Right. This guy is on the iced up just fucking what are the slip and slide to the death chamber right here. He's the guy that's like the model for it. Like he tried to kill one woman, really gave it his best shot. She lived, so he brutally murdered this woman right in front of her fucking daughter.
And the second wife, he only didn't murder her because fucking the door was locked.
Because she had a good quality door. That's the only reason why.
Thank God for good lumber.
When someone was at Home Depot buying that, they went, let's spend the extra $200, and it saved her fucking life.
Get
literally.
the fireproof one.
Yeah, let's get the good one. Yeah, let's get the fire-rated one. I'd say. So they do all this. They charge him with all these crimes. August 2nd, 2003, Kimberly's 4 children file a wrongful death suit in Warren County, blaming Rocky Barton for firing the blast. The suit also says that Rocky's father, Donald, is named in it.
He does have money.
He has money, yep. Also, they say it's his fault for failing to keep the firearm away from Barton, who he knew shouldn't have guns, and this gun belonged to him. That says, quote, Donald Barton knew his son was a convicted felon and was not entitled by law to either own or have access to any firearms. He was also aware that his son was in a failing marriage, depressed, and mentally unstable. And he let him have a shotgun. The suit seeks damages exceeding $50,000 plus the costs of the lawsuit. Donald Barton would not comment on this. But there's this, I guess, raised a very big public thing about like gun owner responsibilities, who's responsible to get sued. If you lend somebody a gun or something, if they have one of your guns, are you then responsible for it?
This seems pretty cut and dry, though.
I would say so, yeah. I would say it seems pretty cut and dry.
Granted, I have zero legal background, but this sounds like Donald's kind of fucking on the hook for this.
Yeah, you probably, if you know your son's a violent felon, you probably shouldn't let him have one of your guns. I'm going to say yes, probably. September of 2003 is the trial. Now, before the trial starts on September 23rd, he pleads guilty to having a weapon while not eligible for having a weapon. So he pleads guilty to that, but he's going to go to trial for the murder.
Really?
So he says, I had a weapon. I will not deny that, but I'm going to go to trial for the murder. Warren County prosecutor Rachel Hutzel.
I'm fucking amazed by this, and I cannot wait to hear his defense.
We will get to it here. Okay. The prosecutor, Rachel Hutzel, called it a planned and calculated crime, talked about Barton's long history of violence and his intent to harm every one of his wives and everything else. She said, quote, this is a dangerous, dangerous man who has an extreme, deep-seated hatred of women. He planned for a long time that he was going to kill her. I can't disagree with any of that shit. He told her that he's been planning on killing her. It's, So they had their chief witnesses are Jamie, the daughter, obviously.
She was right fucking there.
She's the main one. Carol Williamson, his boss, for saying that other shit. Peggy Barton, who's one of his relatives. Her husband, Larry, that's his aunt and uncle. They cross-examine all these guys. The defense tries to get mitigating evidence out from them. But he's a nice guy, right? But he's nice to your kids, right?
What can you possibly say about him?
That sort of thing. Williamson, the supervisor, his boss, said that she knew the family socially and said that Barton and Kim seemed like a happy, affectionate couple, very much in love. She also said that she never thought that Rocky would ever harm Kim. Because you're not going to act like an asshole in front of your woman boss.
Right.
Let's see. I have a female boss. Let me fucking rough my wife up in front of her. That's not the best thing to do. You're on your best behavior if you're in a social event with your boss and your wife. You guys, even if you're fighting, you're going to, hey, how you doing? You're going to put a smile on for that.
Hey, person that signs my check.
Yeah, then you'll fight when you get back in the car, like fucking adults. You know what I mean? Hopefully nobody gets shot.
Right.
So, yeah, this whole thing, Kim's daughter, Jamie, testified that she obviously witnessed Barton shoot her mother twice with a shotgun, and her mother died in her arms. She also said on cross-examination that she and Barton had been close, and that he had been her only father figure. Again, she says that he helped her secure a car and a driver's license, and he insisted that she do good and well in school and get her education and all that. So he was lip service of trying to be a good father, except for the thing of killing their mother in front of her.
He
That's
also
the one where
said
it falls short.
The most fucking cliche shit ever. Just be great. Do good. I mean, accomplish
Get your
things.
education, sweetie. Stay in school.
Stay in school. That's what he said to her, and that's a good thing? Fuck you.
Jesus Christ, man. So Larry, the uncle, testified, yeah, I watched him shoot Kim twice right in front of me. He also, on cross-examination, described Kim and Rocky as best friends who got along well. Barton worked. He said that Barton worked hard 7 days a week. Barton had bought Christmas presents for Larry's grandchildren, and Larry loved Rocky as if he was his brother, except for the fact that he shot his wife twice in front of me. Also, Peggy Barton, his aunt, talked about Barton and Kim's good relationship and Barton's good relationship with Larry. The state also said they bring his whole criminal record into it. They're trying to say they bring up what a great guy he is. So they're like, all right, that's on the table. Because once character's on the table, it's fucking on the table.
Betcha.
They go, he wasn't such a great guy in 1991 when he tried to murder his fucking ex-wife and got 15 years in jail. But there was limited amount of things that they could say. They could just say that he pleaded guilty to attempted murder, but part of the in a pretrial hearing, part of the deal they made is they can bring that up but not bring up the details of it. They can just say he was convicted of attempted murder. Leave it up to your imagination.
Okay.
They can't go, he made her lick the blood off of. That would be that'll get your blood boiling, and you'll go, fuck this guy. Where's the nearest electric chair? I'll put him in now. Hook him up to the fucking pipe in my car. Hook him up to my exhaust pipe right fucking now, I swear to Christ. So, man, he admitted to the murder at the trial and told the jury that he deserved to die. He urged the jury to recommend the death penalty rather than life in prison. He said, quote, my attorneys advised me to beg for my life. I can't do that. I strongly believe in the death penalty. And for the ruthless, cold-blooded act that I committed, if I was sitting over there, I'd hold out for the death penalty, he says to the prosecutor.
The worst part is that he got to actually say that.
Yeah.
Like he should have to talk like Stephen Hawking and beg for them to kill him through a fucking computer.
When you see a picture of him, his jaw looks a little weird. Like it looks like he's got too big of a jaw for his face, because it's a fucking another person's jaw. But he doesn't look like, oh my God, that guy shot his face off. He just looks like
that's awful.
Yeah, just kind of looks like an uglier, older guy.
That's not fair.
No, not at all.
No.
So September 29th, 2003 is the verdict here. He is found guilty of aggravated murder with a gun specification and aggravating circumstance. So he is definitely convicted of that. The jury here will find out what happens with the penalty phase. The uncle, after all this, his Uncle Paul, the different uncle, said, quote, I still can't figure out what happened or why. I thought Rocky was fine. Apparently not.
I'll tell you what happened. Your nephew shot a woman twice in front of her fucking kid.
Right there.
That's what he did.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Jesus Christ. So,
what a dick.
Penalty phase here, the trial court, they have in the penalty phase consisted of an unsworn statement by Barton talking about, he makes an unsworn statement, and the court declared that Barton, quote, would have every opportunity to review the statement with his counsel, reduce it to writing, and touch on all points per the direction and advice of counsel. But instead, he made this following unsworn statement to the jury. He said, quote, at this time, my attorneys have advised me to beg for my life. This is when he says that. I strongly believe in the death penalty. The ruthless acts I committed, I'd hold out for the death penalty. Quote, I've recently done 10 years in prison. Life in prison would be a burden to all the citizens of Ohio. It would be at their cost. I wouldn't have nothing to worry about. I'd get fed every day, have a roof over my head, free medical. You people pay for it. I'd have a stress-free life. That's not much of a punishment. Punishment would be to wake up every day and have a date with death. That's the only punishment for this crime. That's all I've got to say.
Wow.
So that he said, how can I sell them on this? I'll mention it's ruthless. It's going to cost them money. No one likes to be costed money. I'll tell them, while you're out working and busting your ass to pay for it, I'll be kicking back eating free food. That'll super piss them off.
Free medical. Who's got health insurance out there?
Yeah, not me.
There's a lot of people without it.
I got to admit, I was jealous for a second. I was like, I'd like some medical. It's not bad.
Free food, medical, I'm in.
Yeah, so after he said that, his attorney got up and strongly urged the jury to give him a life sentence. So even though my client has begged for this, I say not.
Right.
He highlighted the close relationship between him and several members of his family, which I don't know what fucking difference that is. Barton's counsel claimed that Barton wanted to die, and if the jury were to impose death, it would be giving him what he wanted. He said, Jesus Christ, man. He said it'd be giving him what he wants, and you can't do that. So, Jesus Christ, man.
I don't know. As a citizen if I was a citizen of Ohio, I would absolutely be like, fuck your attorney, man. He's an idiot. You're right. You deserve absolutely a needle.
He says death is not a stiff enough sentence for Rocky Barton because it completes his plan. So he's trying to do the other psychologic. You don't want to give him what he wants. And this guy's like, it's going to cost you money, though. And they're like, oh, man, I got to weigh being a contrary asshole and being cheap. Those are two things that are really, man, those are big. Those are big. So, by the way, the jury comes back and the judge also, they give him a sentence. You, sir, may fuck off. Death penalty.
Fantastic.
Eat dicks, Rocky Barton. Like you said.
Get what you want.
Yeah, we don't love the death penalty, but like I said, I would run this guy over tomorrow if he was in front of my fucking car. Fuck this guy.
For the least of it is what he did, not just to the woman. Obviously, that's fucking horrific. Yeah. What he did to that 17-year-old is fucking ruined forever.
He had no concern or any regard for anybody's feelings or anything else.
That comes through her life for the rest of her life is going to hear this fucking story.
Oh, absolutely. So after the punishment phase, he files an appeal based on the grounds that the court should have investigated to see if he was competent to stand trial in the first place. When the defendant waives a right to present mitigating evidence, the court must proceed with a competency hearing. They're saying if he's saying, fuck it, just kill me, they have to make sure that he's sane. However, the court saw his statement as presenting mitigating evidence and therefore denied his appeal. Like, you said mitigating shit, and we didn't give a fuck. We still wanted to kill you. Jesus Christ. So they rule that he's competent, and this whole thing here, 2003, he is housed at the Mansfield Correctional Institution. He is. They said that he'd been there without incident, and his work assignment was a porter. Oh, so there, May of 2005.
What's a porter?
I think he'd just bring in people shit. I think it's the guy who brings food. Over. I think it's the guy who.
I don't know. I see a guy on a train.
Well, like a porter in a restaurant's a guy that does everything. It's like a busboy, food runner.
That's probably what he's doing.
Runs food back and forth from the kitchen to freezers and shit like that.
Just say busboy.
Just whatever he is. Yeah, who the hell knows? 2005, he's in the mental health unit at Mansfield Correctional Institution with a diagnosis of major depression and psychotic features and a self-reported history of delusional thinking, auditory hallucinations, impaired sight, and attempted suicide during the commission of his offense, obviously. He is admitted in July 2005 to the Oakwood Correctional Facility for more extensive evaluation. He's treated with medication and discharged after a week. Prior to this, all of a sudden in May 2005, coming up with all these crazy mental problems and auditory hallucinations and all this. He's never had any documented history of mental illness or anything like that. He had a 5-hour pretrial session with a neuropsychologist who noted no indications of mental disturbance. So he was fine until now. Right. Now he's fucked up in the head. Right. Well, you know what? Too late now, asshole.
I mean, he was fucked up before, but
now, now he's crazy. Right. So, he there's no indications that he suffered from any mental illness on the record of any kind. His appeal, he says he's unable to think clearly. His attorney argues they said, quote, he was undiagnosed and untreated. He's since had a change of mind. He wants to live. They're like, yeah, he was crazy back then, but now he's fine and he wants to live. Right. So let's take this death penalty off the table. He said, quote, that has allowed him to think clearer than he ever has. The mental health professionals intervening. There is a clemency hearing because he's scheduled to die in 2006. And as we know, if you're convicted 2003, you're scheduled in 2006, you can draw that shit out for 15 years.
For a long time.
There's a clemency hearing for him on June 19th, 2006. He has repeated requests to, at this point, he does not want to be represented by his attorney, Christopher Pagan, or any other counsel, because Pagan filed a motion to evaluate his competency, and he says he doesn't want to do that. He wants to be killed. Yeah. And so he's tired of this shit. They say that this raises issues like whether the sentencing court should have directly inquired of Rocky on the record to ascertain if he knowingly and intelligently understood the potential consequences of his decision not to offer any mitigating evidence, and also whether the sufficient... They're basically saying, did he fucking know what he was doing when he did it? Because that's all that matters. Is did he know what he was saying when he said what he said in court? Right. That's all they're trying to fucking find out. Now, what he says, quote, the court sentenced me to death. All I'm asking is to go ahead and carry out that sentence, which sounds reasonable. Yeah. I committed a senseless crime. I took the life of a beautiful person. There's not a day goes by that I don't think about what I'd done. Oof. He says, "I'll think about what I've done." He sounds like a murdering hillbilly.
He does.
He really does.
It's just such dipshittery. He's such a dummy.
Fucking dumb. He really is. He said he faked it when he told doctors that he was seeing things and hearing voices. He said that was all bullshit.
Okay.
He said he lied to prison doctors because he didn't like the prospect of being moved farther away from his family when he heard last year death row inmates might be moved to Youngstown.
Okay.
So he's like... He's just saying...
He's manipulating.
He's a manipulative son of a bitch.
Yeah.
He said the concocted tale was supposed to increase his chances of being transferred to a psychological unit at a prison in Warren County to keep his family visiting. Because if he went to death row in Youngstown, his family wouldn't visit him anymore. Okay. And he'd be bored, apparently. Okay. Transfer didn't come. Prison doctors diagnosed him with the depression and the affective disorder and put him on medication. And they were like, "You're fine now, asshole. Go."
Take your medicine.
Yeah, take your medicine here. Two of Kimberly's daughters and her sister testified before the state parole board that Rocky was manipulating the court. She said, quote, one of her daughters, Julie, said, quote, "We hope they just kill him and let it be done." Fuck, man. Tiffany said, quote, "As long as he's alive, we are constantly reminded of him. We have no closure."
She's right.
Which I can imagine so. That would be, but it's been 3 years. I mean, it's
It's not enough.
It's not enough time here. So the board finds for this clemency board that he lawfully convicted of aggravated murder of his wife. He is also convicted of domestic violence with threats against his third wife, attempted murder of his second wife. They're like, this is kind of par for his course, basically. This is not aberrant behavior brought on by mental illness. This is
It's got himself in an established pattern.
I was going to say, you've made a pattern at this point. You've put it together.
You've woven quite the murder quilt.
You've hit between 270 and 290 for 10 years in a row. You're about a 280 hitter. Sorry. That's just all there is to it. That's what you are. That's your stats.
Yeah.
That's what you've brought to the table here.
Right.
So
just what a fucking idiot. How do you try to I just don't appreciate I get that our system's fucked up and you've got to
big time.
You've got a right to due process.
Yes.
And you deserve
and
a fair trial and we fuck it up way too much.
Everyone saw him do this.
Yeah.
He said he did it.
Right.
He's had a long history of doing this. If you let him out, he's going to do it again. Let's
happens.
kill this fucking guy. That's what I mean. This is a guy where it's not like, oh, I don't know, let's get the DNA in there. He shot a woman in front of her daughter as her daughter tried to help her and she begged for her life. You're
over.
A heartless asshole. Fuck you. So they do say that credible and convincing evidence was presented by Warren County prosecutor Rachel Hutzel to support that Rocky was fully competent to voluntarily, intelligently, I don't know about that one, and knowingly, we'll say voluntarily and knowingly, let's leave out intelligently, waive his right to present mitigating evidence at the trial. They said that he's repeatedly expressed his intentions to regard his clear, concise, precise, and logical and well-stated, well-written language of wanting to die. Mm-hmm. That's what he says. They said that his diagnosis of major depression with psychotic features was not enough to outweigh the mitigate. It wasn't enough to outweigh brutally murdering somebody. Right. The board voted
short of a gun to your head from somebody else telling you must kill her or else I kill you.
Exactly. And this is the clemency board that recommends either clemency or non-clemency. It's favorable or unfavorable to the governor, who is Bob Taft at this time. All 7 members of the board voted unanimously to kill this fucking asshole. Unfavorable.
Ouch.
Also, the judge ruled, there's another judge here that ruled that Rocky is competent to refuse, because then it goes to another thing. Judge ruled that he is competent to refuse further appeals that would delay his execution. Larry Barton, his uncle, said, quote, "I just hope they go ahead and let him do what he wants to do." All right. Wow. He said, "I know both sides of the family are taking it tough. There's no hard feelings in the family because we're all together on this. There's probably hard feelings on the other side."
Yeah.
You can say that for you.
Right.
We don't have any hard feelings. No, your guy's the murderer, so why would you have hard feelings? We're kind of mad at them for getting in the way of his shotgun shells. What the fuck is happening? Getting in the way of his buckshot. That was really a dick move. I got to be honest with you.
He was just shooting drywall all morning.
We're upset with her here. Tiffany, who's the daughter, said, quote, "We're really saddened by the whole ordeal. Nothing they do to him is going to bring her back. But I think justice will be served. She was our mother. She's not just a victim or that woman in Waynesville. Right. She was our mother, and we miss her dearly. She never missed a soccer game, and she would scream her heart out when I had the ball." She goes on to talk about that. She says it has truly ruined our lives, which, you kill the matriarch of a family. Right. that tends to do that. Barton really, really wants to die. He keeps saying he wants his attorneys gone. He said, I can handle prison life. It's 10 or 20 years sitting. Well, why should I lay around in here for 10 or 20 years when it's eating me up inside? He can't live with the guilt, he said. And then he tries to say that, like, it's not that bad in death row. He said, quote, death row, if you were looking at creature comforts and accessibility to things that other populations doesn't have, it's the preferred place to be. This is the prosecutor saying this, like, hey, he's, of course he wants to be there. Quote, compared to the general population, you're less likely to be victimized by other inmates. You have better access to experts for health care, medical needs, and lawyering. For better or worse, you're special, which makes sense. Barton says he deserves to die. He said that he killed my wife was a beautiful person. She didn't deserve to die. If this execution takes place on July 12th as scheduled, it would be less than 3 years and 6 months after the crime, which would be
fast.
A state record.
Yeah.
Appeals, it normally takes an average of 16 years from conviction, from sentencing to death penalty in the state of Ohio. Average in appeals and all that kind of stuff. Now, days before the execution, he does an interview. And it's fucking interesting.
Yeah.
They say, first of all, they ask him to describe a day on death row, and he describes that, and it's boring. We won't get into that. He says he watches TV. They said, what kind of shows are you able to watch? He says, we pick up all the network channels. They say, do you have a favorite show? He says, not really. I'm pretty burned out on TV. I've seen so much of it. They said, do you read? He says, yeah. And then the reporter rolled their eyes. Went, yeah, right, I'm sure.
What Dr. Seuss do they show you, you fucking jerk?
What's your favorite book? The Bible. Of course it is. Any magazines?
Followed very closely by Where's Waldo?
Yeah, I like that one a lot. It's pretty good. Any magazines? He says, I like reading the newspapers that come through. They talk about that. He says recreation is the high point of his day. What's the low point? Probably between the hours of 12 and 4 when I don't have recreation. It's a slow part of the day. There's nothing on TV. Usually get tired by then. I mean bored more than tired. They say, how did prison life change you? And he says, well, I believe, I shot myself during the crime, and I believe that God gave me one more chance to live, to get my life right with him. So really it's changed me to be more aware of all the bad choices I've made. I have a lot of regrets, mostly about killing my wife. I regret that dearly. That's probably the big one if you're going to look back on your life. It's like, I shouldn't have sold that car in 78. I really liked the interior on that. Oh yeah, and I shot my wife brutally in front of her daughter. He said, I loved her with all my heart, and it was a spur-of-the-moment thing that eats me up every day. No, it wasn't. It wasn't spur of the moment at all. Holy shit. Then she goes, he says that it's a spur of the moment thing that eats me up every day. He's in hardcore wife killing mode. This is how shitty this reporter is. This reporter goes, we'll go back to that a little later. You grew up in Ohio, right?
What the fuck?
How about he's wanting to talk about it now? Talk about it now. She had a list of questions that she couldn't veer off of, and she's like, no. You grew up in Ohio, right? So, no, well, let's get back to that now.
Is this somebody that just got a journalism degree? What is she doing?
She said, why did you kill her? He says, I don't know. I hadn't planned on killing her that day. I had planned on killing myself in front of her, and that was the only way that I knew I could hurt her. When she showed up, it was just a spur-of-the-moment thing. It was just anger, and I was hurt. He said, why were you hurt? And he said, because she had threatened to leave me, and I couldn't see life without her. I can't tell you what was going through my mind. Like I said, from the gunshot wound, I shot myself right up underneath the chin, and if you can see the scars right there, I was pretty messed up. I don't know if I suppressed what happened that day or if it's from the gunshot wound, but my memory is bad. I can't tell you the reason for it. All I can tell you is how I felt. I was hurt that she would leave me, and I was angry. And then the fucking reporter asks again, what's your biggest regret? Dude, we know what his biggest fucking... And his says, my biggest regret is killing my wife. Again, twice now. I mean, I loved her more than anything. I've been married 4 times. I loved her more than any of the other of these women on earth besides my mother, and I'm paying for it every day. So then she says, do you have any other regrets? Can we just stop with that? He killed his fucking wife. That trumps all the regrets. Holy shit. He says he wished he would have spent more time with his son when he was a kid. Wow. So then
get him to talk about regrets. If you can do that, that'd be really great in this interview. I think it's going to crush.
I think the numbers
really
get on that.
Really focus on what he regrets, because I think that I've been told that 99% of all death row inmates they say they have no regrets.
Oh, no regrets.
But then there's regrets.
I would imagine.
Let's find out about the regrets.
Just the thing that put me here. That's all. Fuck, man. They said, do you expect Any of your friends and family to be at the execution? He said, oh, yes, there's a whole group.
Who gives a fuck?
I got aunts and uncles and all my sisters are going to be there and my mother and father. He makes it sound like he's graduating or something. Like, oh, no, everyone's coming to the graduation. It's going to be wonderful.
We got a whole family reunion planned.
She says, what do you think will happen when you die? He says, quote, I believe I'll go to heaven. We have a forgiving God, and I've asked God to forgive me for my sins and forgive me for killing my wife. I believe in my heart that God has forgiven me.
This is why they don't offer death row fucking interviews.
Jesus fucking Christ.
What a horrible interview.
Then they said at the end, is there anything you want people to know about you that they don't know already? And he says, well, believe it or not, I do have a big heart and a kind heart. Wow, but I had an anger problem that I couldn't control. I think it's my worst problem, my anger. You think?
Follow-ups.
Any other ones make you kill people? Jeez, then he goes on to some other self-serving horse shit.
Of course.
Which we're not going to let him do.
Because the journalist didn't fucking smash with more follow-ups.
The last question, and the stupidest one of all, was there anything you didn't accomplish in your life that you would have liked to accomplish? Anywhere you've liked to have gone or seen? He says, yes, I would have always wanted to go to Hawaii because I like the war. Who gives a fuck? Who cares? Shut up. Fuck.
Just tell us what your last meal is, sir.
Then he says,
it's interesting.
He has the balls to say he just wished he could have grown old with Kimberly. She used to always joke about getting 2 rocking chairs and sitting on the front porch and watching the traffic go by. You fucking shot her. It's not like she died of cancer and that was ripped from your arms. You shot her with a shotgun, you fucking moron. All right, so guys all fucking angry at this asshole? Are we all pissed off?
I fucking hate him.
July 12th, 2006 is execution day.
Great.
Good, let's kill this dick. Wednesday it's a Wednesday. They're using new guidelines in Ohio for executions, which this prison staff had extensive problems delivering the drugs, so now they have to check on this guy all the time over the course of the day. There was an injection in May of that year where it was held up to 90 minutes while the staff couldn't find a usable vein when the one they had collapsed. I
saw this one.
That was bad.
And they tried to fucking get that guy off because
they tried.
I mean, no. I mean, his lawyers tried to get him off death row because you can't kill a man twice, and they couldn't kill him.
They tried.
So they sat him for 90 minutes poking and prodding this motherfucker.
That's a long.
And then we're like, back to your cell with you.
That's crazy shit.
What the fuck?
I saw that whole thing.
That's so horrible.
So the state now requires staff to make all efforts to find 2 injection sites and use a low-pressure saline drip to make sure the veins stay open once entryways are inserted. So now they're like, let's make sure that doesn't happen. Barton was examined closely for medical problems the day before and again Wednesday morning, which is also part of it. It's a 15-minute process that they do there. What they do with the meal, last meal time.
Yes.
Last meal, his meal is pork chops, gravy, hash browns, biscuits, fried eggs over easy, cherry pie, and a caffeine-free Pepsi.
From the Waffle House.
From the Waffle. A caffeine-free Pepsi.
Why would you do that?
Let's get some caffeine in you here. He ate all of his special, because they gave it to him the night before, is how it works, not right before you go out. So he ate all of his meal except for the cherry pie, which he saved for breakfast. So he woke up at 4:47 a.m., showered, got dressed, ate a regular prison breakfast, 2 hard-boiled eggs, cream of wheat, grapefruit, toast, and orange juice, and he had his pie, too, for dessert there. So they get him ready for the execution. They bring him in. He's dying in the morning here. They bring him in at 10 o'clock in the morning to the death house.
That meal sounds pretty good.
It's not bad. The pork chops and all that kind of stuff. It's the white trash comfort food. It's not bad. It's good stuff. So final words. That's his final words, and the end of it is interesting here. Wow. We all know who Gary Gilmore is?
No.
Okay, Gary Gilmore is a serial killer.
Oh, okay.
And a really shitty one, and he was executed. And so you need to know that reference because he said something he said when he was being executed. He quotes him.
Get the fuck out of here.
If you quote a serial killer in your last words, you deserve to get killed.
For sure.
He says, quote, "I'm sorry for what I'd done." Not what I've done, what I'd done.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for killing your mama. He tells the daughters, I'm sorry. I'm not asking you to forgive me. Not a day goes by that I'm not trying to forgive myself. Don't let your anger and hate for me destroy your lives. And then he also apologized to his parents for being an embarrassment and a shame to the family. And then he says, his last words are, quote, as Gary Gilmore said, let's do it.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah, he studied up on last words. Like, what am I going to say that's cool? And then he's like, I like that one. I'm going to give him credit, though, because I'm not a plagiarist. I'm angry, I'm agitated, I'm aggravated, I'm a murderer, I do a lot of drugs, but I am not a fucking plagiarist. I ain't a hack, goddammit. I won't hack him. So,
let's do it.
Let's do it. So, Jamie Rees, who's now 21 at the time, watched Barton both kill her mother and also watched him die.
Yeah.
She is in jail on a drug charge at the time, which sucks, but the judge allows her to leave the jail that day to go watch this guy die, which is great. She's in for drugs. She didn't kill anybody. Yeah. Fucking let her go watch here.
Side note, have you studied up and read some of those famous last words?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Do you have a favorite? I have a favorite.
Probably a few of them.
My favorite is this dick. So the very famous sound of a Harley motor is potato, potato, potato. That's what a Harley sounds like.
Yeah.
And a man went to death row, and his final words were potato, potato.
That's amazing. That's fucking amazing.
His famous last words are just a description of what a Harley sounds like.
That's fucking awesome. Jesus.
And another one was the Raiders are going to the Super Bowl. That was, and they haven't been. No, they haven't.
And he was wrong.
They've only been to one since, and they lost horribly.
Yeah, no shit. So Jamie also said, that's awesome. Jamie also said, quote, "This is closure for our family. I've started to forgive him. He took the glue that was holding us together. Seeing him go now, I know for sure that he's gone. It's kind of putting a dot at the end of a sentence, otherwise known as a period." Sorry, I know you've been through a lot, but you can't just call a period a dot at the end of the sentence. You can't. I can't allow that to happen. I'm sorry. Young lady, you know what? It's sad because Rocky should have been encouraging you to stay in school and get your education because clearly it didn't work out here. Tiffany, her sister, was wearing a button with her mother's picture on it. Oh. She said she would mourn the loss of Rocky Barton, but said she was glad justice was served. She said, "We're going to try and move forward as a family. We know that's what our mother would have wanted us to do." Rocky Barton's nephew said that Rocky is home now. He's in a better place. Hopefully not. No. Donald Barton, the father, wow, he sets fire to this whole shit. He writes a written statement in which he calls it the execution callous and cruel, and the handling of his son's case as assisted suicide by the state and by his attorneys. He said, quote, "I can honestly say I am neither an opponent or proponent of the death penalty. I do feel, however, that Rocky's execution is one of assisted suicide. The Warren County prosecutor will probably be in the limelight on many occasions, now and in the future, boastfully and callously singing her own praises for participating in one." Wow, God damn it.
So just for clarification, his father said the execution was brutal and callous, and he's talking about Rocky's.
He's talking about Rocky's.
He's not talking about the wife. No.
He's talking,
just to make sure.
Exactly.
What a douche. That father's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying here. And the prosecutor just said he was convicted by a jury of his peers. That's all they said, which is all you really need to say.
He shot a woman twice with a shotgun in front of her fucking daughter, Dad. So, shut the fuck up.
10:27 a.m. on July 12th. Fucking Rocky's dead.
Good.
Hi-ho, the dickhead's dead. Good for him. Fuck him. Screw that. That's Waynesville, Ohio. Wow. That is Rocky Barton and his fucked up, long, terrible life, leaving a trail of heartbreak and disgust behind him wherever he goes, like the slime of a slug. His hillbillery leaves a trail as far as the eye can see.
So gross.
That's that. If you like that show, please, the way you can tell us would be to get on iTunes and give us 5 stars. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter what you say. Just tell us about yourself. That's all we need. Yeah. If you want to do more than that, you are welcome. And, oh, God, more than welcome. We're loving you and hugging you and saying thank you to you. If you want to be a producer, like we're going to talk about in a minute, you can do that by going to patreon.com/crimeinsports or going to PayPal, and you can make a one-time donation using our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com.
Yes.
And that is our email address. And if you want to get a hold of us anywhere else, you can do that at Small Town Murder on Instagram. It is Small Town Pod on Facebook. That's and at Murder Small on Twitter.
There you go.
Just look up Small Town Murder and you'll find it. Or you can go to shutupandgivememurder.com.
Right.
And there's links to all that stuff.
betcha.
Also, merch that you can get, all of our T-shirts. Like I said, we're going to put I Don't Need Cold Cuts That Bad on sale.
Down.
We're going to mark it down to basically cost just to, I don't know, maybe you guys want to
honor the memory.
Yeah, I don't know, man, but I feel like that's the only thing I can do.
Yeah.
Really, I can't even make it to the funeral. So
is it in New York?
It's in New York. It's on Saturday, and if I went, then we would not be releasing any shows next week, and we can't do that contractually. So I can't even go to my grandmother's funeral. So that's terrific. But
fucking brutal.
You people have been awesome to us, and I just want to let's do these shout outs. Jimmy, hit us with the list of the most wonderful people that we love so much.
First, the executive producers this week, we have Laura Blakesley.
Thank you.
She's a
so
saint.
Cool. Thank
she's amazing.
You.
And she's busy with us
so.
every week, whether it's Twitter or whatever. She's fantastic.
You.
Thank you, Laura, from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you for being a part of the movement and a big part. We appreciate it.
Paul Raggett's amazing. Thank you so much, Paul. Chrissy Ann Castaldi, Rachel Flaherty, and, of course, Cat Power up in New York.
Yeah,
you guys, thank you so much for being such amazing people.
Really, we can't do this shit
if
you guys weren't around. It's the truth, and so thank you.
Holly and Jalen Phoenix, Robin Sherrard, Kate Myers, Karina Sayers, Lex Furst or First, Fuerst. That's a tough one. I'm not sure.
First?
I think it's. I wanted to say First. And yeah. Oh, that sounds so German and horrible. I don't want it to be that. Kelly
Are you
Higby.
A Nazi, sir? Thank you for the money. Are you a Nazi? How many kids have you diddled? How many?
Kelly Higby. Bethany Hunt.
Leave the Jews alone.
Barbara Felker.
Moish is fine.
James Acelta is such a great dude. He's I believe an Italian guy, but he's busy with Twitter and Facebook. I think
he said he's such a great dude. I believe
he's an Italian guy.
I believe he's an Italian guy, but he's a good guy. That's what you said. But he's fine. I believe he's Italian, but he's all right. He's one of the good ones. Don't worry about it. He's one of the good ones. It's all right.
He says shit to you like he's one of you. So I assume that he's a
guinea.
He's
a little guinea
guy.
bastard. Yeah, I love him. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, James. Brianna Selly, Brenton Matson, which I don't know, that sounds fucking royalty or something. Jacob Koss, Stanton Parsons. Is it Parsons. Dane Maricek. I think that's it.
We both said it at the same time. So
Jake LeBeer, Aaron M. Hammond, Sylvia Simon, Arsenic Martini Products. I'm not sure what that is, but that sounds terrible.
And terrible or clever?
Yeah,
one of the two.
You don't want to drink those. I'm not sure. Travis Billheimer.
You don't want to drink those.
Rowan Murray, Jesse Hartman, Rachel Ray. I want that to be that lady from the fucking Cooking Network. I know it's not, but I want her so bad.
Not to like us, he just wants her so bad.
Her and her tiny arms.
I want her so bad. So bad.
Brian Lovato, who I hope is related to Demi.
You just want famous women to like you. That's all he wants.
I like her also. Morgan Peterson, Caroline Royal, or Carolyn Royal. I'm not. You call a Caroline, and she'll lose her fucking mind. So I want to say it both ways.
Caroline. That's not good.
Kim Baker, Jeff Hensel, Savannah Bryant, Kristen. Suzatkowski. Yes, I fucking nailed it. Mariella Rosas, who is fantastic. Thank you so much for everything, Mariella. Mia Martinson? Double Martinsons? I don't know.
Double Martinsons.
Matea Turin? Matea Turin. Tureen? Savannah Bryant? I think I said that. Craig Chirica. I think that's right. No, it's Sirica. No, it's Circa. Fuck, I don't know what it is, Craig. Do you know?
I don't know.
Chirica.
What I'm doing.
Right. Chris Tirado, Randy with no last name, Joshua Cass, Jason Fuller, thank you so much for everything,
Thanks, man. Thanks for that hat, too. That was so cool. Thank you. That's an awesome, I really appreciate it, dude. We love you, man. Thank you. Be safe on the roads, brother.
Yeah, fucking drive careful.
Yeah.
Diana Price, Maggie L. with no last name, Mama Gish, Under the Sea Fabrics. I'm not sure what that is. I think she helps with sewing stuff, though. I'm assuming. I don't know. Brett Welch and KC.
Thank you.
Heather Latridi, that's what it is. Richard Basantes, Kevin Manus. Yes, Kevin Manus. That's a tough last name. Madison Murray, who graduated high school. I don't know if that's a fucking cause for celebration. She's still got to go through college. Madison, go knock 'em dead, change the world.
Part of the way there.
Yeah.
Good job.
Keep going. Mackenzie Butler, Heather Goss, Rosie Goodison, David Hadnut. It's a tough one also. Lonnie Hall. Lonnie Hall and Nitch. I choked on David's Hadnut. Don't fucking isolate that ever.
I have it. I'll have that forever, Jimmy. Forever. Don't fuck up, man. Don't piss me off.
All right. On this episode, I had to say that.
No shit. You're the best, Al. That's what you were saying.
Leslie Woodruff, Ted Cyrus, who's been around for so long.
Yeah,
thank you, Ted.
you.
Cade Brown, Tim Sprague, Ashley Mason, Paul Roost, he's fucking amazing. Mike O'Hurley, whose uncle was on fucking Seinfeld.
O'Hurley's
fucking, I forget the guy's name, because I didn't watch that much Seinfeld.
You
I don't
son
know.
of a bitch.
I know, I'm an asshole. Peterman, Jay Peterman.
Oh,
that's his fucking
Jay
uncle.
Peterman.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, he's the
That's
best.
crazy.
That guy's fucking hilarious.
Lisa Warren, Fiona Catherine, Harley Easton, Laura Blakesley. I already said that she's busy as fuck with us.
Thank
she donated
you, Laura.
twice this
She's
week.
the fucking best.
Todd Crago, Laura Taylor, who's also super busy with us on Twitter. Sarah Toasty, Joanna Erica Piojo, Piojo, Piojo. I don't know. Robert Burns. Robert Burns. Emmy Dumont, Monica Coy, Jay Mitchell, and Andrea Calkins. You guys are so fucking great to us, and we can't say thank you enough, truly.
That's the stuff right there.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys. That's the good stuff, man. Thank you guys. We appreciate you guys more than you could know. Honestly,
truly,
you make this go because the donations are where we make most of our money.
Right.
It really is. We depend on you guys, and that's why we're kind of like we turn down products sometimes, even though we beg and bitch about advertisers. They'll give us a product that we go, I don't think that's good for our people. We go, that sounds like a scam. Like I'm not fucking putting that out there.
They're not going to buy into that.
So that's because you guys make it so we feel beholden only to you guys. That really is what it is. We don't feel like, well, I don't know, the sponsors say this. It's like, well, the sponsors pay us way less than the people who actually fucking matter, who are the listeners. So we'll keep doing that for you guys. And even if it was the other way around, you're still our priority because without you guys, you're all that matters to us.
You're what get us the ads anyway.
You're what get us everything. So thank you guys for all that you do for us. We really, really appreciate it. And what if one of these nice people wanted to tell you how much they appreciate you, Jimmy? How might they do it?
You can find me at Whisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. I appreciate anything you guys say to me, whether it's positive or negative. What about you, James?
Yeah, definitely. You can find me at Jimmy P is funny, or you can try to just copy and paste my last name. Don't try to spell it. It's much easier that way. And if you do tell me negative shit, I'll tell you to fuck off. Jimmy will be nice to you. I'll tell you to eat dicks. Fucking walking. I don't give a shit. So, I don't care. You want to say something nice, go for it. You want to say something mean? Go for it too, but it's coming back at you.
Bow up.
Yeah, definitely.
Be prepared. It's like a boomerang.
It is. But
salty words come back around. That's all I'm saying.
That said, it's been fun. Thanks. I honestly needed this today because I would have just sat around kind of being bummed out about everything. And I needed this to clear, kind of help me mourn. So you guys have helped me get through this. So thank you. We always say, a lot of people will say, you help me get through this. You help me get through that. So you help us get through shit too.
Tremendously.
Guys. And you'll keep doing that every week. And until next week, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.